On a Friday night from downtown Danbury, Connecticut, this is Danbury Hattricks playoff hockey, and it starts right now on the Hattricks Digital Network. Hello again, Hattricks fans. Thanks so much for joining us. It's round one, game one of the 2024 Commissioner's Cup playoffs. Hattricks and Rockers for just the third time all season. The two matched up twice earlier on in December. This, the Empire Division semifinals. The winner of this series will play the winner of Binghamton and Watertown. That series getting underway tonight up in Watertown. Hattricks finished the season right on the tails of the Rockers. It was a battle to the finish for that number 2 spot in the Empire Division. Motor City came away with it. They finished with a record of 20. They finished with a record of 33, 6 of the wins coming past regulation, 19 losses and 4 losses in overtime or a shootout, 97 points. Hattricks ended the year with 31 wins, 19 regulation losses, and 6 overtime losses, 90 points. So number 2 against number 3. And tonight, the first meeting since December 2nd between these two teams. The squad split earlier on this year. It was actually the first win that Motor City has had against the Hattricks in its short existence. The Rockers in the second year of operation. Last year, their inaugural year, the Hattricks took care of business and beat them in all 4 games early on in the season. 2 games in November, 2 in December last year. A couple of overtime games mixed in there as well. And if we backtrack to December 1st, that one finished past regulation as well. It was a 5-4 overtime win for Motor City in that game. Hattricks actually got out to a 3-1 lead, but the Rockers scored 4 of the next 5 goals, including the game winner. It was Scott Koash, who had 2 goals in the contest. Scott Koash, the Rockers' leader in goals and points. Their only player on the team to average more than a point per game. And the only one in that category for the Hattricks, Johnny Ruiz, who became a 3-time team MVP back on Friday night, the season finale for the Hattricks in a loss to Binghamton. Ruiz closed out the year with 38 goals, 36 assists, and 74 points. Ruiz's numbers ranking among the best in the FPHL this season. His power play goals and shorthanded goals, 12 and 5 respectively, were tops in the league. He also finished 4th in goals and 5th in points, did Johnny Ruiz. You saw a couple of the starters be announced tonight for the Hattricks. It's the top line, Corey Cunningham, the Hattricks team rookie of the year. Johnny Ruiz mentioned his offensive player of the year and MVP award-winning season, and Daniel McKittrick on his right. It's Josh LaBelle and Connor Bedard on the back end with Connor McCullum in net. Not Taylor Joseph, it is Connor McCullum, who has been outstanding over the last 6 starts. He has a .952 save percentage over his last 6 starts, does Connor McCullum. All right, the players are on the ice, and now it's time for the anthem before game 1 in the Empire Division semifinals.
Singing the national anthem tonight, please welcome Kelsey Elizabeth Matthews.
Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed
It is just about time for playoff hockey here in downtown Danbury, Connecticut. It's game one of the Empire Division semifinals between the number 2 Motor City Rockers and the number 3 Danbury Hattricks. Hello, Hattricks fans and Rockers fans who are watching back in Michigan. Doug Latuca with you here on the Hattricks Digital Network. Danbury in the black jerseys, black pants, and black socks with the white and orange stripes. The Rockers with the white tops, black bottoms, and white socks with some striping throughout. Hattricks finished the season 31-19-6 with 90 points. Motor City at 33-19-4, 97 points. Hattricks trying to become the first team to repeat as champions of the FPHL, and it starts tonight. The puck is dropped, and the 2024 Commissioner's Cup playoffs are underway. Hattricks starting the top trio of Corey Cunningham, Team Rookie of the Year. Johnny Ruiz, now a 3-time Team MVP, centers with the alternate captain Daniel McKittrick on the right side. Josh LaBelle and Charlie Bedard man the back end, and it's Connor McCullum in net. And about 20 seconds in icing on the Rockers. McCullum led the FPHL in wins this season with 24. It's quite the goaltending matchup tonight. McCullum and Babin in goal for these two teams. McCullum also with 6 assists that led all goalies. Babin, his 21 wins, third in the FPHL this season, and his goals against average under 3, ranked third as well in the league. And Babin catches with the right hand, which is a bit unorthodox, and the Hattricks actually practiced this week with college netminder Andrew LaRusso wearing the glove on the right hand. So they are prepared. Now Babin put on a show the last time these teams met back in December. Only 2 times they met, December 1st and December 2nd. Babin faced 94 shots, stopped 86 of them throughout both of the games. Chase Harwell in the far corner swings it around the boards at the right point. Abdella pitchforks it in deep, and it's swatted back out to center, and it rolls on goal. McCullum steers it aside. Kyle Gonzalez has the puck poke checked off of his stick, and Michael Falanga backtracks and angles off the boards for Harwell. Meeting him along the boards is Josh Colton, number 4 for Motor City. Racing after the puck, Mike Wynn, crunched to the boards by Bowden Zinchenko. Hattricks are without a couple of regulars tonight. Jared Yao dealing with an injury. Connor Woolley, Brandon Stoychevsky, and Nick DiNicola are scratches tonight. And Zach Pamelayan suspended 2 games for spearing. That happening on Friday in the loss to Binghamton. That was a shootout loss. Point shot gathered in by McCullum. And about 2 minutes in, no score, and a couple of shots for the visiting Motor City Rockers. Now this game could come down to special teams. Both of these teams very tight. When you look at goals for, goals against, goal differential, they were just 1 off from each other, and just 7 points separating them in the Empire Division. Now special teams wise, Motor City very dangerous. 3rd-ranked power play, only behind Columbus and Binghamton, and the 2nd-ranked penalty kill. Falanga flipped one through the slot, past Ratcliffe. It's Billy Berry, developmental player. And LaBelle claps one from the right point, gloved by Babin, his first test of the night. Hattricks struggled in their final 4 games, just 1 win in the 4 games, 3 losses to number 1 Binghamton. But the Hattricks overall had been playing some pretty solid hockey. They've won 7 of the past 10 and 12 of the previous 16 games. Motor City has won 4 straight to close out the year. There's a wrist shot from the left wing, Ryan Rotundi, blockered away, centering pass, kicked out by McCullum, and Kyle Gonzalez streaks up the right side. Zigzagging through center, gains the red line and flips it all the way around. Babin got a piece. McKittrick surging around the net. Pressed off the puck. Colby Johnson to the goal. Rebound for Ruiz, and it's kicked out by Babin with the left pad. He was in the butterfly, and Ruiz put it right off the pillow. Lane King flips it for Giuliani. His shot off the shoulder of McCullum. Jonathan Giuliano with the shot, and McCullum with his best save thus far. Here's Corey Cunningham. Finished the regular season second on the Hattricks in goals with 23 as a rookie. And LaBelle to his D partner, Bedard. Fumbled the puck, but it spits forward, and Harwell up the left wing. Taking it wide, wrist shot. Whizzes past Babin and springs back out to center ice. LaBelle for Zinchenko. Tipped it in, got it as far as the blue line, and it was shoveled back into the hat-trick zone, where Bedard goes right up the gut for Zinchenko. Fakes the shot, goes wide. Zinchenko poke-checked off of the puck by Jamison Milam, and the Rockers ice the puck. 3 minutes and 56 seconds in to Game 1, Round 1. Hattricks and Rockers on a Friday night from Danbury, Connecticut. Now both these teams will hop on a bus and travel back to Fraser, Michigan for Game 2 tomorrow night. It's a 7:05 start at Big Boy Arena. We'll have the call right here on the Hattricks Digital Network. Abdella's point shot slithered through, and it's snagged with the glove by Trevor Babin. We've mentioned his name a couple times thus far, the righty goaltender. The dominant starter for the Rockers, a .292 goals against average, a .919 save percentage for Babin. Those third and fifth, respectively, in the league. Now, you also have to be cognizant of Babin's penalty record. Well, he had 82 penalty minutes this year. That was 65 more than the next goaltender. So we'll monitor that throughout the series. Abdella banks it for Gonzalez. The headman for Falanga tapped on for Berry. Chips and chases. Got around the check of Colton, but back to retrieve is Wynn. Puck is free behind the net. Scooped up on the far side by Avery Smith. His pass right on the stick of Scott Coash, team leader in goals and points. Whistled one wide. Wynn kept it in. Sent it to the far side. It's wheeled around the kick plate, and Berry has some time. Pass through center off the skate of King. And it's Wynn. Hit hard into the boards by Colby Johnson. The 6'3" forward. This just his sixth game with the Hattricks. Did qualify for the playoffs with that game against Binghamton. A skate actually came up high on him, and he was shoving King. Now he's in pursuit. Lifts the stick of Danny Vanderweel, who was involved in that collision with Daniel Amesbury back on December 2nd, last time the teams played. A wraparound, right pad save by McCullum. Kept in at the point. Rotunda fakes the shot, drops off for Declan Conway, and it trickles out to center ice. We played about 6 minutes here in the first period. No score. Shots are 6-3 Motor City. We're talking about the Vanderweel collision resulted in the indefinite suspension of Daniel Amesbury. Happy to see Vanderweel back on the ice and healthy. Numbers for the Hattricks. Zinchenko wrist shot. Waffled aside by Babin. Rockers try to counter the other way. They turn it over. Cunningham for Harwell, and his one-timer off the right pad of Babin. Puck kept in. No, it wasn't. It was outside the line. Hattricks had to touch up. And the Rockers into the offensive zone. Wrist shot from Svitsnov. Went wide. And Gonzalez up the right wing. Gave it away to Giuliano. And the Rockers reset in their territory. Over the line. Flipped in on goal. Getting there first is Gullo. To the point. And a slap shot off the post from Avery Smith. A second try was blocked in the slot. Falanga darts up the left side. Pass inside for Harwell was deflected, and a hit in the corner and a penalty. Harwell had his numbers showing. He was plastered to the boards, and the Hattricks get the first track on the power play. No score, 7 minutes gone. First period. Will be back after this on the Hattricks Digital Network.
Stop by TK's American Cafe on White Street in Danbury and try one of their 76 amazing wing flavors. Visit tksamericancafe.com for more information.
Danbury Parking Authority. Park in the Patriot Garage across the street from the Danbury Ice Arena. It's safe, secure, and legal. Make sure the only ticket you get is to the game.
Danbury Chiropractic and Wellness. Dr. Jared DiLorenzo is a proud member of the Danbury Hattricks medical team. Stop by and see them on North Street in downtown Danbury. Feeling good is an option, and they can get you there.
Buzz-Aid Appliance Scratch and Dent Outlet is the local leader for appliances and household wares. Do you like to eat? They have a refrigerator. Do you want clean clothes? They have a washer. They got it all. It's Buzz-Aid Appliance. Coca-Cola is the official beverage of the Danbury Hattricks. Sweet, fizzy goodness. As refreshing as you remember.
We welcome you back inside the Danbury Ice Arena. Doug Latuca with you. Friday night, game one in round one. Hattricks and Rockers, and Danbury to the power play for the first time tonight. Hattricks finished the regular season 7th on the power play at about 20%. Motor City on the kill was 2nd at over 83%. Hattricks with 33 power play goals in the last 21 games. Top unit on, McKittrick, right side across. Ruiz had hopped over his stick. Lifting the stick was Wynn. Hattricks keep it alive. LaBelle at the left point to McKittrick. Pass down low, deflection missed by Cunningham. Recoils behind the net. 20 seconds gone on the power play. Harwell, wrist shot was blocked. He has it back. McKittrick, straight away LaBelle. Across Ruiz, slap shot, engulfed by Babin, and he holds on. Giuliano, Colton, Vanderweel, and Delaney, the 4 penalty killers for the Rockers. Hattricks with Ruiz, Harwell, Cunningham, McKittrick, and LaBelle. Danbury wins the faceoff. A minute 30 to work with on the power play. Point shot deflected wide. McKittrick in the right corner. Banks it for LaBelle at the right point. Flutters it down low. McKittrick inside. Ruiz shoots, save. It's underneath Babin. And the whistle. Some more pushing and shoving after the whistle. Vanderweel involved with Harwell. And we did wonder if anything would carry over from that December meeting. And a hit from Amesbury on Vanderweel. Face off at the far circle. Ruiz and Sneath. Hattricks win it. McKittrick to the back. Ruiz. Return for McKittrick off of his skate. He lost possession, and Colton flings it all the way down. We've played 8 minutes, first period. Shots are even at 7, and the Hattricks with a minute to go on the power play. The penalty on Nicholas McGill-Diaz for cross-checking at 7 minutes. Second unit on. Berry storms up the right side. Wrister wide of the glove of Babin. And the puck slapped all the way down the ice by Sneath. And the Hattricks restart with 30 ticks on the man advantage. Gonzalez slips it for Ratcliffe. Steps inside the line. Sauce to Gonzalez. Near side, Berry. Thinks better about a shot. Plays it back and out of the zone, and Gonzalez pressured, gave it away. Here's Koash on a break, glove save by McCullum. A short-handed breakaway for the Rockers' top goal scorer, and McCullum stones him at the top of his crease, keeps it scoreless. Power play is over. Ratcliffe into the zone, pass off the skates of Johnson, and it's sent back out to center. So, Danbury 0 for 1 on the power play, and that second-ranked penalty kill getting to work. Johnson's wrist shot almost snuck under the arm of Babin, but he kept it out of the goal. Harwell rainbows it to the far corner and into the protected netting. So a whistle and an offensive zone faceoff upcoming for the Hattricks. Now Motor City in the final 4 games of the season, they won all 4, including 2 wins against the 2 top teams in the league, Columbus and Binghamton. And then they swept that home and home with Port Huron to distance themselves from the Hattricks for the 2nd spot in the division. Hattricks did not get the job done either way. They lost in the shootout 4-3 to Binghamton. Here's Harwell rearing back. Shot deflected off the back of the goal. Babin got a piece, and it sprung off the end boards, and he kept the puck out of the goal. D Bedard. For Zinchenko, touched for Harwell. Pressured from behind. Bedard. And a whistle as Harwell draws another penalty. An elbowing call on the Rockers. The penalty is on Ryan Rotundi. So, second opportunity on the man advantage for the Hattricks tonight. They have yet to find the back of the net. Babin is 9 for 9 in the early going. Now midway through the first period, and the face-off at the near circle. Off the draw, tie-up. McKittrick took a spill. LaBelle's shot from the point was deflected off the crossbar. Ruiz gathers in the corner to the back, LaBelle. Cross McKittrick, return LaBelle. Looking for a lane, wrist shot blocked. And out to center ice. It's backhanded all the way down by TJ Sneath. LaBelle, McKittrick, Ruiz, Cunningham. And now Johnson is on the ice. Remember, Harwell did just take that elbow. Wonder if it's just a temporary change of personnel or if Johnson is going to camp out right in front of the Motor City's net. Mix of 2 units for the Hattricks. Got to be careful. Scott Coash, 88 in white. Outlet for Ratcliffe up the left wing. Gains the zone. Hattricks offsides. Johnson a step ahead of the play. So we've hit a media timeout. No score. Hattricks and Rockers in game 1 of the Empire Divisional semifinals. About 9 minutes to go in the first period. Hattricks still on the power play. We'll step aside here on the Hattricks Digital Network.
Coltech, the founder of Plastic Chamber Technology, is headquartered locally in Brookfield. Coltech is family owned and operated with experience in the drainage industry dating back to the 1950s. When you're talking drainage and stormwater, Coltech is the world leader. Contact them today at coltech.com.
Fairfield County Bank is the official bank of the Danbury Hattricks. It's where the Hattricks bank and the tellers wear the Danbury Hattricks top hat. Fairfield County Bank is your hometown bank and a proud supporter of your hometown team.
For a comfortable stay with great amenities, the only choice is the La Quinta by Wyndham in Danbury. Ask for the Hattricks friends and family rate. You can't beat it. La Quinta.
Texas Roadhouse, located on Newtown Road in Danbury, opened its doors locally in 2017 and is known for hand-cut steaks, cactus blossom, fall-off-the-bone ribs, made-from-scratch sides, and fresh-baked bread. The restaurant prides itself on its legendary food, legendary service, and legendary fun.
No score between the Hattricks and the Rockers in the opening game of the Empire Division semifinals. Doug Latuca with you on a Friday night from downtown Danbury. Thanks so much for joining us. Hattricks with 45 ticks on the power play. Gonzalez to Berry at the right point. Return for Gonzalez. Wrist shot off the blocker of Babin, and it spits to the near corner. Berry retrieves to the back Gonzalez. Across for Ratcliffe. Return Gonzalez. Backhand pass Berry. Across for Ratcliffe. Behind him He does possess along the far side boards. Puck behind the net. Johnson tossed down. Slips the puck for Ratcliffe. To the blue line, Gonzalez. Wrist shot, deflects wide. Berry pounces on it. Touches for Johnson. Berry. Ratcliffe slap shot off the right pad of Babin. Hattricks keep it alive. Power play is over. Berry across for Ratcliffe. It's intercepted. And the Rockers clear it all the way down. And they are 2 for 2 on the kill. Shots 12-10 Hattricks. About 8 minutes to go in the first period. Number 2 Motor City and number 3 Danbury. The Hattricks trying to defend the Commissioner's Cup. Won it in 5 games last year against Carolina. Overtime winner here in Danbury. Here's Ruiz, backhander stopped by Babin. An awkward carom off the end boards. And Babin stood his ground. McGill Diaz pitchforks it in deep. McCullum swings it along the dasher. Ruiz below the circles. Giuliano and Bedard battling. And the outlet for Zinchenko. One-on-one. Zinchenko moves, shoots. Stopped by Babin. He doesn't know where it is. It's underneath him. He sits down. And the whistle stops play. Zinchenko very sneaky. And almost beat Babin on that wrist shot from the top of the slot. Hattricks going back to last year with a 6-game winning streak in the playoffs on home ice. Trying to keep that alive. And we spoke to a lot of the players and coaches. They liked game 1 here at home. With the Danbury faithful on their side, you head over to Michigan with a 1-0 lead. And you take your chances that way. But this is part 1 of the puzzle. You got to take care of business on home ice. Now Babin swinging his stick at Cunningham. It's 5-on-5 hockey. McKittrick gloves it down, pirouettes, and flips it in. Ryan Rotundi handing it off for Danny Vanderweel. Zigzagging through center, gains the line, slips it across for Koash, trying to chip it in deep, but LaBelle picked his pocket. Stationed behind the net, outlet pass received by Johnson. Will backtrack in his own zone and give off for Abdella. Puts on the brakes. LaBelle, outlet pass deflected partially by King, and Ratcliffe into the O-zone. Quickly thwarted near the blue line, and back out to neutral ice where LaBelle slingshots it all the way around the kick plate. Berry tipped it for Steve Brown, who is on defense tonight. His 2nd consecutive game on defense for the Hattricks. Had taken about a month break, but is back for at least the next couple of games. A stick save from McCullum. A point shot deflected wide to the far corner. Johnson, cross ice pass, angles off the boards, icing waved off, and the Hattricks change personnel. Motor City with room to operate. They set up the breakout. Svitsov had his shot steered aside by McCullum. And Zinchenko 1-on-2 into the offensive zone. Puck was swatted out to the neutral zone. Hattricks had to touch up. Flung into the far side corner. Getting there first is Delaney. Around the net to the left point. Slap shot, left pad save by McCullum. Zinchenko trickles it down the ice, and it's enough for icing. But fortunate for the Hattricks, it's the final media timeout of the opening period. No score between the Hattricks and Rockers. You're watching Danbury Hattricks playoff hockey on the Hattricks Digital Network.
Diversified Printing Solutions in Danbury is the Hattricks' official printing partner. You want it printed? Call Tina and let them get it inked up for you. They could do it all. Locally owned and printed on paper from Connecticut trees.
Dr. Matt Hartzberg is an official member of the Danbury Hattricks medical team. Hartsburg Chiropractic is cutting-edge chiropractic care right here in your backyard. Check out Hartsburg Chiropractic and get on the road to a pain-free hockey season. Blue Light Electric is a proud sponsor of the Danbury Hattricks. Blue Light Electric happily provides service to all parts of Connecticut, performing high-quality electrical work for residential and commercial properties. Blue Light Electric is always accepting new customers.
Litchfield Distillery. It's the spirit of hard work. The Bachelors of Litchfield Distillery, in honor of the early farmers of Northwest Connecticut, present to you the locally made Litchfield Distillery bourbon, vodka, and gin. Grab a beverage at the Rabbit Hole and hoist the barrel with the Hattricks.
Scoreless here in Danbury. Game 1, first round, Hattricks and Rockers. Just the third meeting of the season between the two teams. Shots are 15-12 Hattricks. A lot of action around both netminders. And two of the best in the regular season in the goal have stood tall thus far. Net was dislodged behind McCullum, so a whistle. Number 2, Motor City. Number 3, Danbury. They split the season series. First game went to the Rockers in overtime, 5-4. Hattricks got the job done in regulation the following night on December 2nd. That after Motor City got out to an early 2-0 lead. And Hattricks found some offense and outscored the Rockers 2-0 in the third period to seal the victory. That actually stopped a 4-game losing streak for the Hattricks at the time. And it was Motor City's first win against Danbury in franchise history. Outlet pass received up the right wing by Conway. He was turned aside by Brown and then stapled to the glass. Cunningham turned around. Puck drops down. Centering pass all the way through. McCullum might have got a piece. And it trickles out to center ice. McGill-Diaz up the middle. Tipped onto the blade of Steve Brown. Chase Harwell over the center ice logo. Into the zone. Harwell with some space. Shots up. Rebound. Score! Daniel McKittrick. First goal of the 2024 playoffs for the Hattricks. And it's 1-0 Danbury. Harwell kept the initial shot on the ground. Babin kicked it out with the right pad, and McKittrick there to clean up the mess in front. Didn't get a lot of it, but just enough over the outstretched glove of Babin for a 1-0 Hattricks lead. McKittrick with his first goal of the playoffs, 13th goal overall, now 8 points in his last 6 games, 3 goals during that span, and his 4th point versus Motor City this season. Meanwhile, Vanderweel centers, intercepted by Ratcliffe. Smitsov pressed to the glass by Abdella. Giuliano and Berry prying for it. It's sent to the far boards, and Johnson scoops it out to center ice. And Vanderweel angles it for Delaney. Giuliano tape to tape, received by Smitsov. Takes it wide on Bedard. Backhander stopped by McCullum. Rebound is swatted at. And they still play on. It's a free puck. Below the goal line. Berry. Whistle blows, and I believe they have a penalty. Holding is the call on Abdella. So right after the Hattricks get the scoring started, Abdella heads to the box for holding with 2:43 remaining here in the opening period. The goal, McKittrick from Harwell at 16:21 has the Hattricks on the board for the first time here in the playoffs. So Motor City, with the 3rd-ranked power play in the regular season, gets their first opportunity. Hattricks clear it. 10 seconds gone on the man advantage. Josh Colton dangling away from McKittrick. Sends it cross ice. Onto the stick of Sneath. Cuts middle. Handing off for King. Low left to Colton. All the way across Coas. Slip shot snagged with the glove by McCullum. And a face-off upcoming to the Hattricks starting netminders left. Both teams making changes. So McKittrick getting the party started on a Friday night. These fans have been waiting all year for the playoffs to get underway, especially after the run last year the Hattricks made, and Danbury on the board first. But Motor City on the man advantage. Vanderweel at the right circle. Crisscrosses, hands off for McGill Diaz. Slap shot from the point was deflected wide. Milam didn't get all of it. Point shot deflected, sits in the slot, and Ratcliffe slings it down the ice. Under 2 minutes to go. First period, 1-0 Hattricks. A minute remaining on the Abdella holding call. Shot 16-15 in favor of Danbury. Rockers send it in. Vanderweel swoops around the net. Pressured by Bedard. Had his pocket picked, and Bedard flips it down. Hattricks with 40 seconds remaining on the kill. I mentioned the Rockers third on the power play, about 26%. They were second in the league last year in their first season. Conway prized the puck free, then lost it to LaBelle with a minute remaining in the period. Conway starts the break. Sneath cuts middle. Was pressured by Brown. Played below the goal line. King. In front, his wrist shot off the shoulder of McCullum and into the netting. So another quality stop from Connor McCullum, who has stopped all 17 thus far. He's been in a rotation with Taylor Joseph ever since the trade deadline. But McCullum with the call tonight. 6 straight starts with a .931 save percentage or better. He's at a .952 save percentage during those 6 starts. His last start coming on April 7th. A Hattricks win. Stopped 39 of 40 shots. Babin turned it over. Berry in front for Ruiz. It was broken up at the last minute. And with 22 ticks remaining, the Rockers have to go about 200 feet. Win, cross ice for Colton. Play is stopped at center. Colton with 7 seconds. Back for Vanderweel. And the final 5 seconds peel off. And the Hattricks head to the locker room with a 1-0 lead. And a standing ovation from the fans here in Danbury. It was Daniel McKittrick with the lone goal in the period at 16:21 on a rebound off of Chase Harwell's purposefully low shot. 3 penalties in the period, 2 against Motor City and 1 against the Hattricks. All right, 20 minutes in the books. First intermission here at the Danbury Ice Arena. Doug Latuca with you. We appreciate you for stopping by for some playoff hockey. Now, they'll have the TK shootout at center ice. An opportunity for every fan in attendance through our Fan Saves coupon book. Come away with 6 free wings from TK's American Cafe on White Street in Danbury. 76 amazing flavors. Great spot to watch some games, eat some food before you come to the Danbury Ice Arena for a Hattricks game. Now, Game B tickets. Now this is if the Hattricks get to the second round. The Game B tickets will be going on sale following this series. So if you missed out tonight, you will have an opportunity. Also, you can purchase a playoff package if you would like. Locks you in for every home game. And if the Hattricks do not advance, you get a refund of your money. You can put it towards tickets for next year. Put it towards merchandise for the Hattricks. Whatever you would like, we can make it happen. All right, after 20 minutes of play, it's the Hattricks 1 and the Rockers nothing in the first game of the Empire Division semifinals. Number 2 and number 3 going at it here in Danbury. Well, I caught up with Hattricks head coach Billy McCreary a little bit earlier in the week. We touched on this series, where he thinks his team is coming into tonight. Always appreciate Billy McCreary sitting down with me. And let's take a listen.
Hello, Hattricks fans, and welcome to a playoff edition of Catching Up with McCreary. I'm Hattricks broadcaster Doug Latuca, alongside Hattricks head coach and general manager Billy McCreary. Coach, the time is now. We are finally at the playoffs, 56 regular season games in the rearview mirror. You've got a 3-game series with Motor City coming up. Could be shorter than that, could go all 3. How was practice this week ahead of playoffs?
It's been great. The energy's fantastic, probably the best we've seen all year. Guys are really focused in and excited for the opportunity.
Right now, where do you believe your team is mentally, physically, going into round 1 of the playoffs?
I think we're in a really good spot. I mean, we're still recovering from a little bit of injury, but that's why we've worked on our depth throughout the course of the season, and really believe in the guys that have the opportunity here this weekend. And I think mentally we're probably in the best spot we've been in all year. Guys understand the task at hand. We've been put through kind of the ringer here this year, and playoff hockey game 1 is going to be no different than, last game here last weekend. So, we're certainly ready for the opportunity, just excited to get started.
Seems like we've spoken about the mindset of flipping the page on last year and moving forward to this year. But now that you're back in the playoffs, does the mindset and the thoughts from last year about the process and how you can get through the grind of the playoffs come back? Is it very similar process, or does it change team by team?
I mean, it's always a different year, but what you can do as an individual is just take the opportunity that you've had in the past and apply that, in the current situation. So, I know for me, when I was a player, it was an honor to just be in the playoffs, and you try to take bits of information from those situations throughout the course of your career and apply them to where you are in that moment. And I think certainly for the guys that had that experience last year, they can take away some positives from that experience, and they can learn from some of the things that they need to learn from. And but it's going to be a different year. It's going to be a different grind. It's going to be a different challenge.
You've had some pretty stellar rookies this year. Rookie of the year for the Hattricks, Corey Cunningham, second on the team in goals. Connor McCullum was among the league leaders in wins in the net for you guys. But in the playoffs, it tends to be the veterans that you lean on. You've got champions in that locker room from last year and from around the league. How heavily do you rely on those guys, the vets, to carry the load, especially early on in the playoffs, until the rookies get acclimated to the situation?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think we're really going to change much. We've relied on our young players all year, and that's something that we're going to continue to do. Obviously, we'll rely on our veterans and the guys that have been in those situations before. But not to try to replicate last year. But if you look at the team we had in the playoffs, we had a lot of young guys stepping up in some big areas. So, we foresee the same kind of march here, this year, where we're going to rely on everybody for sure.
Do you feel like you have an advantage going into this playoffs, considering you won last year? You brought back a nice number of guys. Some who were in the bottom 6 last year have actually stepped up into the top 6. Do you feel like your team is in a better spot than some others in the league, just based on experience and what you guys did last year?
I don't know if we're in a better spot. I think we're in a really good spot, and I like where we are. But you know, all the teams that are in the playoffs now have earned the right to be here. And you know, if there's anything to learn throughout the course of the regular season, it's anybody can beat anybody. So you know, we have to show up and play our game. And you know, the guys that are playing, the guys that are mentally strong, those are the guys that are going to help us get through the times that we need to get through here in the next 3 weeks.
Had a bit of a lull at the end of the year, 3 losses in the final 4 when you guys were going for that number 2 seed, trying to hot Motor City and take that 2 seed. Did you see any changes of feelings after a couple of losses when you didn't get that 2 seed, or was it, all right, let's flip the page, we knew we were playing the Rockers for about a month at this point, let's just go after it?
Yeah, I mean, there's really no, like, obviously we'd love to be at home, and, you know, we enjoy putting on a show in front of our fans, but, you know, we also have a job to do, and our job is to win 1 game at home and 1 game on the road. And, you know, I think if you look at where we are, you know, I'd rather be in our situation here. You know, Motor City has to drive 12 hours out here, you know, today, play a game tomorrow, then they have to drive 12 hours home and play game 2. You know, we just have that 12-hour drive for game 2. And, you know, if we take care of our home ice, we give ourselves a, you know, tremendous opportunity to, you know, put ourselves in a situation that we want to be in.
Well, Columbus just did it last night. Not quite a 12-hour ride for them, but they took care of business against Mississippi in their game 1 as the better seed, traveling to the lower seed for that game 1, how things work in the FPHL. Moving forward for you guys in net, brought in Taylor Joseph at the trade deadline. Connor McCullum, we've spoken about his numbers all year. He's been the starting goaltender for the majority. Joseph has come in and played a decent amount of games and was outstanding last year in the playoffs against you guys. Do you have a plan for the playoff goaltending, or is it still up in the air?
Well, our plan when Tijo came into the fold was kind of just get into a little bit of a rotation and, you know, really trust in our 2 goaltenders and help in their development and their process. And, you know, MC played a lot of hockey for us throughout the course of the year, so we wanted to, you know, give him a little bit of rest heading into the postseason. And, you know, I think the way the rotation is working out, you know, MC will get game 1, and you know, he's been phenomenal all year. You know, he's been the backbone for us defensively all season long, and he's certainly earned that opportunity. So we're very confident in what he's going to do, and then we'll have to make some decisions from there.
Connor McCullum, one of the rookie all-stars in the FPHL for the Empire Division, so he will get game 1, and we'll see what happens moving forward with Joseph in game 2 and potentially game 3. Games 2 and game 3 will be in Michigan, and then game 1 here in Danbury. We shift to the Motor City squad. You've only seen them twice, and that was early in December. We've touched on 2023 compared to 2024 in terms of the roster, how you guys played once the calendar flipped and you really turned it on. What are some of the advantages of playing a team in round 1 of the playoffs that you didn't really see too much in the regular campaign?
Well, I think you just have to focus on, you know, your game, right? Like, you don't have to, it's not like we're playing a team that we've seen 19 times and you just know exactly what they're doing. So, you know, you need to focus on your game, and you want to execute your game plan better than they want to execute their game plan. And, you know, for game 1 being in our house, I think, you know, we should be able to provide more energy, more physicality, and if we can execute our game plan a little bit better than theirs, you know, we're giving ourselves a good chance to win game 1, you know, and go into game 2 in a really good spot.
What does the preparation look like against a team that you haven't played much compared to maybe a Binghamton squad that you saw 18 times?
Yeah, well, we've done more video this week than we have in the past. Usually, you know, I would say it's in the regular season, you're doing video 1 or 2 times throughout the course of the week. You know, this week we've done it probably 3 times. You know, just trying to touch on, you know, different aspects of the game and getting our guys familiar with, you know, their team, the way they want to play, the structure that they're looking to play within. You know, also getting a look at the rink and their facility. You know, we haven't had that opportunity to, you know, go there and feel what it's like to play on their ice. And they've had that opportunity here in Danbury. So trying to find any edge that we can, you know, to replicate what we're going to see, you know, when we get to Motor City. And, you know, we've even gone so far as to kind of, we went out and got a set of different gloves. So, one of our goalies is catching righty, and he's got a lefty in his blocker hand. And, we envision Babin's going to be starting for them game one. And we want to be familiar with what we're seeing. So it's just all little tweaks that we get to have some fun with throughout the course of the week. And I think we're ready to go.
Yeah, Motor City, just in the second year of operation with their franchise, you guys played them 4 times last year. You won all 4 games, including 2 at Big Boy Arena. In terms of Danbury's hockey history in the FPHL, FHL, 14 seasons of the FPHL, 10 years there's been a Danbury-based franchise, and in 5 of those seasons, a Danbury-based franchise has made it to the finals. What does that say about hockey in Danbury and how relevant Danbury franchises are when it comes to the postseason?
Well, I mean, if you look at the game of hockey, I mean, it's played off of passion, it's played off of physicality and skill and will and all those things. And I think to play in Danbury, you just have to embody, what it takes to play playoff hockey. And what I'm so proud of this group is, these guys commit to playing playoff hockey for 56 games. And you look at other teams around the league, and maybe they'll play for 12, 15, 20, 25 games, but our guys really put it on the line, absolutely every day. And it's an honor, to do that with them, and just really excited to see what they're going to do here in the real season.
Team awards were announced last Friday during the regular season finale. Johnny Ruiz, a 3-time winner now for the MVP, Offensive Player of the Year. You had Corey Cunningham, Rookie of the Year. Out of the names that won the awards, who were some of those players that you saw grow the most throughout the year, or you saw had the most impact on the team throughout the year, whether it was the locker room, on the ice, off the ice, whatever it may be?
I mean, you can really touch on all of them in some way, shape, or form. And, I really look at like the younger guys, like Cunning. He's come a long way since he's gotten here, and he's really worked on his craft and, working on different elements of his game. And, it's tremendous to see him, coming out of his shell on and off the ice. And for a young kid, that's not easy to do, but he's, acclimated himself very quickly into, what we're doing here. And, Connor McCollum, same thing, young guy that we've really relied upon heavily. And, he was hot out of the gate, and, we really kind of relied on him from there. And that's a lot of weight as a young player. So, those are 2 guys that stick out in my mind, but you can certainly talk about the, like Xavier Abdallah and ZP and Yowzer, and like what those guys do in the community and for our youth programs and just for our family in general. It just makes me tremendously proud of them and proud to be a part of it. And obviously the work that Johnny does is the work that Johnny does. It speaks for itself. But it's a locker room full of 23, 24 leaders in there, and those are 5 or 6 that we were able to honor last week.
I mean, throughout the year, we've touched on exactly what this team has to go through to repeat as champions. It's never been done in the FPHL. We've discussed how your roster decisions will be tested throughout the last couple of months and now into the playoffs, with just a surplus right now of guys, some who have stepped up big in the beginning of the year, have stuck around, while some veteran players, some guys come back from injury, suspension. Now it's game 1 of the playoffs, and you've got to put together that lineup. Of course, the suspension to Zach Pamela in 2 games, I guess, helps you a little bit in terms of bumping somebody up and not having to deal with 1 extra player. But how do you put together a lineup? Is it my best players out there, or are you trying to match up specifically with what Motor City's doing in round 1?
A little bit of both. We need to just focus on us and put the best team that we can on the ice, and we also have an understanding of who we're playing, and I think we have the edge on them with some speed and some physicality and just a little bit more of a commitment to the defensive side of the puck. and that's the lineup that we'll try to construct for game one here. But those guys make my decisions awfully difficult, which is a testament to them and their work ethic and what they do for us. And I told those guys, I had the conversation with a couple guys today, and I said, you're not going to like what I have to tell you, but this is the decision that I have to make, and love you guys for being a part of this, and be ready for the opportunity when it comes your way, because if we're going to go as deep as we want to and as we expect to, we're going to need everybody here, and even if they're not in a game one, we're going to have to rely on everyone at some point. So those guys have done a tremendous job all year, and we just have to continue to do it and enjoy the process here for another 3 weeks.
What's the message to a young guy like Colby Johnson, who brings a lot of energy, physicality, has been spotlighted a little bit by the league? He's only played 5 games. He qualified for the playoffs by getting to 5 games, had been suspended previously. What's the message to a guy like him, and even some of the younger guys, keeping your cool in a playoff game where everything is magnified?
Yeah, I mean, certainly in playoff hockey, you have to play with physicality and some jam, and you got to put yourself in hard areas to do that. But you also have to be able to control your emotions and just play with the course of the game and dictate the game, whether our emotions are high or we're kind of even keel. And we're going to have to be ready for everything. We're going to have to be ready to defend. We're going to have to be ready to kill penalties. Somebody might have to fight out there, and we're going to have to do what we have to do in the moment to be disciplined and stick up for who we are and play for our team. But obviously the focus is just scoring goals and keeping the puck out of your net. So we have to dictate the game in all areas of it, and it really starts between our ears. So if our minds are on, we're able to control our emotions and we're able to manage the game accordingly.
Friday night, 7:30, here at the Danbury Ice Arena. What do you expect from the Danbury faithful during game one?
Doug, I got chills just hearing those words, and it's going to be passionate. That's for sure. It's going to be loud. It's going to be exciting, energetic. I can't wait to see what these guys come up with, and Danbury hockey in the playoffs is a different element at the Danbury Ice Arena. So honored to be a part of it, and excited to get to work it.
You can purchase your tickets on DanburyHattricks.com. 7:30 tomorrow is game 1, game 2, and game 3, if necessary, are Saturday and Sunday in Motor City. Final question, it's a fill in the blank. Playoff edition. We'll only go round by round here because we want to keep it focused on Motor City in round 1, but your squad gets the job done and advances to round 2 if
we can play disciplined hockey, win the specialty teams games, and then beat them in 5-on-5.
So the Hattricks trying to advance to the second round of the playoffs. They host Motor City on Friday. We really hope to see you there, and let's do it.
Hey Hattricks fans, do you like your grass green or do you want weeds? Yard Goats Landscaping and Construction services Fairfield and Litchfield County. Their specialties are tree service, excavation, patios, decks, and making your grass happy. Check out yardgoats.io and get green with the team. We welcome you back inside the Danbury Ice Arena. Period 2, game 1 of the Empire Division semifinals between the visiting number 2 Motor City Rockers and the number 3 Danbury Hattricks. And after one, the Hattricks leading 1-0 thanks to Daniel McKittrick's goal at 16:21 on a rebound off the Chase Harwell shot. And that's where we stand. Now, we were looking around the league at some of the scores and some shocking results. After one period in Watertown, the Wolves, the 4 seed out of the Empire, leads the 1 seed Binghamton Black Bears, who are the number 2 team in the league, 2-0 after one period of play. So we'll keep an eye on that, but our focus is here inside the Danbury Ice Arena. Teams flip sides, Period 2, Hattricks and Rockers. Danbury with a 1-0 lead. And we are underway in the middle period. Hattricks and Rockers haven't seen much of each other this season. Played 4 times last year. Hattricks won all 4 matchups. This season, the team split back in early December. This is the 3rd trip for the Rockers here to Danbury, and the Hattricks will make their first trip to Big Boy Arena. They'll start the trek tonight, right after the horn sounds, load up the bus, and about 12 hour bus ride to Fraser, Michigan. Now, 40 seconds into the second period, and the Hattricks have numbers. Johnson for Ruiz, back Cunningham, shoots, stopped by Babin. Rebound, Bedard flings one towards the goal, deflected behind the goal. Johnson double teamed behind the cage, kicking at the puck. Johnson, wraparounder save, rebound, Harwell flipped it wide. Chaotic start in front of Trevor Babin, and he has stopped everything thrown at him in the early going. Hattricks keep it alive. Rinchenko slings one wide. At the right point, Gonzalez looking for a lane. Wrist shot deflected, hit off of Zinchenko. Johnson was tossed down in front. Abdella, wrist shot gets through, and Babin says no, again off the left pad. So Babin in the butterfly has been strong, and he keeps it 1-0 Hattricks. A minute and 32 seconds in to the second period. Now you saw Babin shoving Johnson in front, some physicality. And we touched on Babin and his penalties at the top of the night. His 82 penalty minutes were 65 more than the next goaltender. Now he got into some scuffles when the Rockers were here back in December. Babin played in in both of those games, made 86 saves on 94 shots. So far, he has faced 20 shots. He has stopped 19 of them. McCullum is 17 for 17. Now 2 minutes of race, second period. Pavel Svintsov weaves through Berry and Gonzalez, throws it to the middle off the stick of McCullum, and Ratcliffe leads the charge from right to left. Flipped it up the boards, turned aside by Colton. Angled up the far side, Giuliano rims it around. Falanga holding off the check of Wells, and Gonzalez below the goal line with some real estate in front, partially pressured by Svintsov. He backs off, and Gonzalez emerges from behind the net. Outlet pass for Ratcliffe. Steps inside the line. Pressed along the glass by Smith, and Koash nearly off to the races. Brown sweeps it to the near side boards, and it's thrown ahead where Brown recollects in the hat-trick zone. LaBelle chips it off the boards for Berry. Up the right wing, swats it across behind McKittrick. It was deflected out to center, and Smith charges after LaBelle. And Brown, backhand sauce at center, read by Koash, and then lumberjacked in to the Motor City bench. With 2:58 gone in the middle period, 1-0 Hattricks. The lone goal coming at 16:21. McKittrick from Harwell. A rebound in front. Babin made the right pad save. The rebound sprung out to McKittrick, who flipped it over the glove of Babin, who almost made a highlight reel. Remember, Babin catches with the right hand. Something that Danbury has not seen a lot of this season. That's why they practiced with Andrew LaRusso wearing the righty catching mitt during practice. One of the developmental players. Did not qualify for the playoffs, but still in town. Turnover on the far side. King fanned on the centering pass. And Gonzalez give and go with Cunningham and below the goal line. Hattricks making changes. And the captain, Danny Vanderweel, Weaves through center. Johnson poke check the puck away. 2-on-1. Johnson on the backhand centers. Got it back. Wrap around off of his stick. And it's swept aside by Sneef. Hattricks keep it alive. Harwell handing off for LaBelle. Below the goal line through Zinchenko. Johnson picks it up far corner. Behind the back, Zinchenko with some room to operate. To the back. Too far for LaBelle, who sprints after the rolling puck. And bats it ahead for Zinchenko. Cross corner. Johnson inside Harwell for Zinchenko. Touched on, and Babin stopped that one with the pad. Hattricks buzzing this third line of Harwell, Zinchenko, and Johnson. Newly formed and creating some chaos in front of Babin. Hattricks are without some regulars. DiNicola, Woolley, and Yao. All out, and Pamelayan suspended for spearing back on Friday night in the final regular season game. Koash, cross slot pass, Svitsnov shot it wide. And Berry retrieves behind the net. Falanga is out in front of the pack, but Berry goes to Brown. And a return for Brown in the near corner with 5 minutes elapsed. Period 2. Here inside the Danbury Ice Arena. First game of the best of 3 series. Motor City and Danbury. McGill Diaz, pressured by Falanga, chips up the far boards, and Gullo handing off for Koash, settles down a bouncing puck, swings it in deep through Gullo. Smith to the left point, McGill Diaz kept it in. Hattricks wanted it offsides. They do not get it. A tie-up in the far corner. 2 black jerseys, 2 white jerseys. Now Ruiz comes in for the Hattricks. Ratcliffe backs off. Still tied up. Squirts free for Ratcliffe. Cross ice, Falanga gets the red. Pass for Ruiz was deflected. Forced the Hattricks offside. So they touch up, get some partial changes, and the Rockers into the O-zone. King with a wrist shot off the chest of McCullum. Bedard throws the puck towards the middle. Slingshots off of a skate and back into Motor City territory. McGill Diaz, backhand flutter, far side, Sneef at the red line, up for grabs, charging in was Conway. Thought he took a stick up high, had touch towards his face area, nothing called. Cunningham swerving in front of the goal, and Bedard leads the rush. Harwell handing off McKittrick, wrist shot, glove save. Babin, no rebound, and the whistle. 13:25 to go, second period. Hattricks holding on to a 1-0 lead. You're watching Danbury Hattricks playoff hockey here on the Hattricks Digital Network.
Stony Hill Dental Care has served as the leader and preferred provider of dental care in Bethel, Connecticut. Go see Dr. K. He'll make you look like $1,000,000 and feel like it too. The official team dentist of the Danbury Hattricks.
Vision Designs is the official merchandiser of the Danbury Hattricks. Vision Designs is a full-service screen printing, embroidery, signage, and promotional company locally owned and operated in Brookfield. Vision Designs is the hometown company with the national power. Check them out at visiondesignct.com.
Decker Tool Rental is the official full-service equipment rental shop of the Danbury Hattricks, providing a complete line of quality equipment to all types of contractors, tradesmen, and do-it-yourselfers. Visit them today at 84 Federal Road in Danbury or on the web at deckertoolrental.com.
Kafala Coffee. Real coffee, good coffee, no, great coffee. Plus hot chocolate right on the concourse level at the Danbury Ice Arena. Kafala Coffee. Stay warm this winter. Hattricks 1, Rockers nothing. First game of the Empire Division semifinals. Number 2 Motor City, number 3 Danbury. And the Hattricks in front by 1 thanks to Daniel McKittrick at 16:21 of the first period. A follow-up off the Harwell shot. Hattricks in the offensive zone. Pass for Harwell off of his stick. Popped in the air. LaBelle at the left point. Rims it all the way around. Svitsnov, who had 5 assists in the 2 games against the Hattricks. back in early December. Josh Colton parked behind the goal. Him and Vanderweel play catch. Delaney up the right wing. Cross ice, Svitsnov. One-on-one with Brown. Svitsnov cuts in his shot off the pad of McCullum. Tried to slip it through the 5-hole, and McCullum stays perfect. 21 shots for the Hattricks and 18 for the Rockers in a 1-0 game. Harwell drops off for Johnson. Wrist shot. Stopped with the stick by Babin. He poke checks it to the corner. Zinchenko down behind the net. Gonzalez for Johnson into the middle. Harwell wrister blocked down. It pops. It plopped down in front of Babin. And there to the rescue was Giuliano. Giuliano and Harwell engaged in front of the Motor City bench. Nothing comes of it. Both players make changes. Ratcliffe gains the line. Stops near the point. Now walks the wall. Up top, Johnson across for Gonzalez. Elevated pass, and Motor City can go on the break. Koash up the left wing. Chases down a rolling puck. Koash, team leader in goals, gets around Johnson, swings it to the slot. Rebound, and it went wide. The puck was deflected on the centering pass, and on the other end of it was Avery Smith. And he shot it wide of McCullum. 11.5 left in the second period. An offensively charged game. Lots of shots on both ends. Smith was taken down in the far corner. Refs are letting them play. 3 penalties in the first period. Nothing here in the second thus far. Falanga, 1-on-2, has Berry. Hands off, Berry around the net. Lost it, got it back. Falanga returned for Berry. It finds Ratcliffe. Left point, LaBelle, wrist shot. Whistles wide. Springs off the end boards, King will loft it out to center, and LaBelle handles it. Hattricks want to turn quickly. Ratcliffe met at the blue line, lost possession, and Vanderweel flips it up the far boards. Intercepted by LaBelle. Falanga for Ratcliffe, touchdown. Here's Ruiz, 1-on-1, Ruiz scores! Johnny Ruiz on the board of the playoffs, and the lead extended to 2. The 3-time team MVP, 3-time Offensive Player of the Year for the Hattricks, the team leader in goals and points this season, Johnny Ruiz with a backhander over the glove of Babin, and it is 2-0 Hattricks. Ruiz with a shorty and a power play goal in the season finale back on Friday in the loss to Binghamton. He now has points in 11 of his last 12 games and in 21 of the last 22 games. Johnny Ruiz getting the job done again. And the lead balloons to 2 in front of the Danbury faithful. Ruiz finished the regular season 4th in goals in the league with 38. So do the Rockers have a response. Milam to Delaney into the offensive zone, wrist shot off of LaBelle. And Harwell darts through center. Harwell waiting, pass to the middle, deflected in the air, a kick down by Cunningham. To the left point, Johnson chips and chases. Took the puck away from Milam. Johnson centers for Zinchenko, tapped wide. Zinchenko pounces on it. At the right point, Zinchenko, wrist shot off a couple bodies, and it went wide. Babin thought there was contact in front. Rockers have iced the puck to the face-off all the way back into the Motor City zone. But we've had immediate timeout here in Danbury. Johnny Ruiz, what's new from Ratcliffe and Bedard at 9:28 of the second period, has the Hattricks in front by 2. You're watching Danbury Hattricks playoff hockey on the Hattricks Digital Network.
Clancy Moving and Relocation. Moving is stressful, but it doesn't have to be. Call Clancy and let them do the heavy lifting for you. Resident and commercial services plus other services such as storage. Remember, Clancy is fancy.
Todd Maserati Alfa Romeo of Danbury is the premier automobile partner in the Danbury area. Located on Newtown Road, the Bennett family has been putting the community behind the wheel for over 35 years. Dream big, drive a Maserati or Alfa Romeo. New and pre-owned vehicles available. Let Todd Maserati Alfa Romeo of Danbury be your choice.
Dowler Garage in New Preston specializes in batteries, brakes, and general service. When you're stuck, you're in luck. Call Mike so you don't need a bike. Dowler Garage.
Peach Wave of Bethel. Located on Greenwood Avenue in Bethel, Peach Wave is your place to go for a quality treat. Frozen yogurt and toppings, it doesn't get much better. Catch a wave, a peach one.
Back in Danbury, Connecticut, Hattricks 2, Rockers nothing. Johnny Ruiz with his first goal of the playoffs. Mr. Reliable, the Hattricks captain, has pushed the lead to 2. The assist to Ratcliffe and Bedard at 9:28 of the period. So the Hattricks with the opening goal in the first, McKittrick from Harwell, and now Ruiz has his first playoff points of 2024. Rockers ice the puck. Just under 9 minutes left in the second period, and the shots are 26-21 Hattricks. Babin has been spectacular. A lot of traffic in front, deflections left and right. And twice, Danbury has beat him over the glove. One on a rebound, and then Ruiz outweighting him on the backhand. Now McCullum stopped all 21 shots thus far. One of the questions was coming in, would you see Taylor Joseph as the every game starter, especially in the playoffs with what he did with Binghamton last year in 5 games, was the best playoff goalie. Well, besides from Brian Wilson, but he was spectacular, acquired at the deadline from Columbus for the Hattricks. But McCullum has really stepped up his level of play since Joseph has come to town. And a glove save for McCullum, saw it all the way on a slap shot. Now we told you we'd be keeping tabs around the rest of the league. Last time we checked, it was 2-0 Watertown, but Binghamton, not even 4 minutes into the second period, has tied the game. Steffen and Fitzgerald with the goals for the Black Bears. They're knotted up at 2. It's 2-0 here. Hattricks in front of the Rockers. And now the Hattricks ice the puck the length of the ice. Motor City finished with 97 points, Hattricks with 90. Now the Rockers had a substantial lead over the Hattricks, but Danbury got hot once the calendar turned to 2024. But Motor City held off the surge. They won 10 of the final, and a goal! A shot off the face-off. It was deflected. McCullum didn't see it. It went in and out of the net in a flash. And it's Declan Conway getting the Rockers on the board. It is 2-1. So, Conway off the face-off. McCullum screened. And the lead cut in half. Now, I was mentioning that Motor City had won 10 of their final 15 games to hold off the Hattricks, including 4 straight to end the regular campaign. I think the Rockers like that because they scored immediately. So, after 2 unanswered from the Hattricks, the Rockers right back in it. Vanderweel tried to keep it the left point. They had to touch up here. Zinchenko trying to get through. Svitsov gets over there. Johnson try to pass to the back. It's available on the near side. Harwell Drops off LaBelle. Wrist shot blocked down by Giuliano, and the Rockers from left to right. Giuliano up the left wing. Sauce to the middle, blocked down by Bedard. Giuliano retrieves and rims it around. LaBelle. Outlet for Harwell. He backhands it off the glass and into the Rocker zone, where Rotundi gets through a couple black jerseys. Rotundi to the goal. Backhander! Stopped by McCollum. It's underneath him. And the whistle. In a full split, Connor McCollum with his best of the night keeps it 2-1 Hattricks. What a beautiful save from Connor McCollum. Both of these goalies extremely athletic. Quite the move from Ryan Rotundi, who just got right through the Hattricks defense. LaBelle was back there, almost turned away from it, and it allowed Rotundi right in on McCollum. But the Hattricks netminder preserves the 1-goal lead. LaBelle, Abdel at the left point. Slips it for Ratcliffe, and he turned it over to Koash. Sent it ahead. Ratcliffe and Abdella collide. Ratcliffe comes off the ice with his helmet lying at center ice. Gonzalez ahead for Falanga. Had a partial 2-on-1 if they connected, but the pass was behind McKittrick. In the offensive zone, it's Smith. Backhand flutter, held on to by McCollum along the far post. So the Hattricks had a 2-0 lead. McKittrick and Ruiz, one in the first and one in the second. And they're going to give the goal to Lane King. So it was deflected. It is King's goal on the Declan Conway shot at 11:58 and a 1-0. And the first goal for the Rockers. It has been back and forth throughout this game. Both goalies putting on a show. Showing off the athleticism. Conway. Pass redirects to the point. A shot deflected wide by Sneef. Put through the crease. Out to the left point. McGill Diaz kicked it down. A scrum forward in the corner. Sticks are flying. The puck wobbles out to center, and Milam ramps it off a stick back into the Hattrick zone, and LaBelle with the lead for Cunningham behind him. Babin out of the goal. Cunningham had his stick lifted by Milam, and the Rockers turn it over. Ruiz chopped down, and it's a penalty, and after the whistle, Milam shot the puck at Ruiz. Didn't seem intentional, but Cunningham comes to the defense of his captain. Some more extracurriculars after the whistle. We'll see if any additional penalties result. I'd assume not, with Colby Johnson on the ice defending some of his teammates. Hattricks wanted to bring the intensity, the fire, the physicality. They brought the offense early with a 2-0 lead. Motor City has crawled back in with a goal at 11:58 of this period. And TJ Sneeth called for tripping. So the Hattricks with their third crack on the power play. Danbury in the season finale was 2 for 8 versus Binghamton in that 4-3 shootout loss. They have 1 goal now in 14 tries against the Rockers in 2 games and a period and a little more than a half. Off the face-off, LaBelle barely kept at the blue line, was harassed. Giuliano shorthanded with Delaney and Ruiz. Bunted it down. Wynn fanned on the clear. Harwell drops for Ruiz. Wrist shot fanned. It was deflected. Harwell corrals at the near circle. One-handed below the goal line. Delaney through the legs. Dangles out of trouble. Lead pass. Too far for Giuliano. And all the way back down. 30 seconds elapsed on the Hattricks power play. Under 5 to go. In the second period, it's 2-1 Hattricks. Shots are nearly even, 26-25 Danbury. Cunningham establishes the line. Harassed from behind by King. Gets it up top, LaBelle. Slap shot into the gut of Babin, and he holds on with no rebound. We're at the final media timeout of the middle frame. It's 2-1 Hattricks, 4:36 to go in the period, and 1:12 remains on the Hattricks power play. You're watching Danbury Hattricks playoff hockey on the Hattricks Digital Network.
Reverie Brewing Company is a featured beverage in the Danbury Ice Arena. Grab a Reverie and don't quit your daydream. When you drink Reverie, anything is possible.
Set Fitness is the official gym and training center of the Danbury Hattricks. Pump iron or tone up. Join Set Fitness and be the best you.
Mitchell, experience the difference. Mitchell has served the community since 1945. Heating oil, propane, and service for your home or business. Mitchell is ready to serve.
Oak Ridge Waste and Recycling has the roots in the community for all of your needs. Residential and commercial, Oak Ridge is the official sanitation partner of the Danbury Hattricks.
Hat City Physical Therapy is Danbury, Connecticut's leading provider of physical therapy and orthopedic specialists. Their highly skilled and caring team of licensed therapy providers are focused and committed to restoring your health and well-being so that you can return to the life you enjoy.
Hattricks holding on to a 2-1 lead. They have 1:10 seconds on the power play. In the box is TJ Sneath for tripping. Puck trickles out to center ice. Hattricks possessed a 2-0 lead. Motor City, on a deflection from Lane King, have cut the deficit to 1. Berry brought the puck in, and Johnson was sprawled out nearly in a full split, but he was offside, so 50 seconds on the power play clock, and the top unit on: Ruiz, Harwell, Cunningham, LaBelle, and McKittrick. It is Rotundi, Delaney, Giuliano, and Vanderweel. The killers for Motor City. LaBelle, the quarterback of this unit, finds McKittrick weaving in, had his stick lifted. Delaney plays back for Vanderweel, who swirls out of trouble. Double teamed below the goal line, couldn't clear. Ruiz kept. Cunningham, low left Ruiz. Straight away LaBelle with 25 on the power play. Pass for Cunningham, one-timer, McKittrick, shot right into the midsection of Babin. And once again, no rebound from Trevor Babin, whose control has been noticeable. The only rebound, or one that came back to bite him, was the McKittrick goal. And it was a nice shot from Harwell, who purposefully kept it on the ground. So it sprung off the pad of Babin. Only 10 seconds left on the power play. Maybe one last rush for Danbury into the offensive zone. Pass was deflected and slung all the way down. Sneath is out of the box, and the Hattricks are 0 for 3 on the man advantage. It's a 1-goal game. Cunningham up the far boards. Ratcliffe could not control, but Motor City gives possession right back to Danbury. Cunningham swerves out of trouble, lifts it for Ruiz across Ratcliffe. Wrist shot into the belly of Babin. 2-on-1 for the Hattricks. It happens that quickly for Danbury. That was Cunningham, flipped it for Ruiz to Ratcliffe, and a snapper ingested by Babin. And we remain in a 2-1 contest with 3 minutes on the clock in the middle period. In game 1 of the Empire Division semifinals, one of the 2 series currently going on. Last check, Binghamton and Watertown are knotted up at 2 after the Wolves entered the first intermission with a 2-0 lead. Goulon slings one on, and McCullum gathers it in for the defensive zone faceoff. Rockers finished the regular season 6-4-0 in the last 10. Hattricks were 7-2-1 in their last 10. But the Hattricks lost 3 of the final 4. Motor City won 4 consecutive to distance themselves from the Hattricks in the division. Tie up off the faceoffs. Zinchenko leads a charging Johnson, right wing, pass in front. Hey, it's off the post. No! No, what a save by Babin! Oh, he reached back with the glove and kept it out. Off the post on the goal line. The Hattricks think it's in. They can review. There are cameras above the nets here in Danbury, and they will surely take a look. They will take a look. Here's the replay. It was a deflection from Ruiz. He raised his arms in the air, thought it crossed. Now, this is not the angle the officials will look at. You see, it hits off the post, then pops down. It would have had to gone in with conclusive evidence, and they say no goal. Trevor Babin with a highlight reel, save of the night. Boos rained down from the Hattricks fans here inside the DIA. That was a quick review, and those cameras are crystal clear and right above the net. So either they did not have conclusive evidence to overturn the no-goal call, or Trevor Babin kept that puck out of the net. Either way, it's 2-1, the face-off to the right of Motor City's netminder. D-to-D, and LaBelle's snapper into the catching mitt of Babin. That glove has gotten a lot of work thus far. He has faced 29 hat-trick shots, and he has made 27 saves rather. Now he faced 50-plus shots back in December. One of the games with the Hattricks, 94 between the two. Teams split those games. One in overtime, a Rockers win in regulation the next night for the Hattricks. Approaching the 2-minute mark here in the second period in a 1-goal game. In the first game of a best-of-3. Game 2 tomorrow night inside Big Boy Arena. Harwell centers, stopped by Babin, rebound in the slot, and Delaney sweeps it away. Leading up the left side, Rashad off the iron. Giuliano with the opportunity. Either McCullum got it with the shoulder, or his friend the post made the save. Centering try, steered away by McCullum and back out to center. Win connects with McGill Diaz. At center, Svitsnov tips it in. Brown chasing after it. Rockers changing. Hattricks cannot get it in deep, but then McKittrick nearly picked the pocket. It spits to Zinchenko. Ruiz right side. Arister. Glove save from Babin. He makes it look easy with that glove, does Babin. Almost like a first baseman, a catcher. And it is strange, you don't see many goalies catch with the right hand. And it's an adjustment, and funny enough, Danbury has scored both of its goals over the glove. Now Babin hasn't really had much of a chance on either of them. Maybe the breakaway for Ruiz. But he has been as good as advertised. Two of the best goalies in the FPHL this season. Babin, a veteran here in the FPHL, and McCullum in his first season, the rookie. Ruiz thought about a stretch pass to Cunningham, then flings one for the Hattricks Rookie of the Year. McKittrick supports, flips in deep. Colton angles it for Vanderweel. Cross ice pass knocked down by Ratcliffe. Turnover. Cunningham flips for Ratcliffe. He's tripped up, and a penalty. Ratcliffe would have been on a breakaway But Danny Vanderweel heads to the box. Rather, that is Mike Wynn, number 16, tripped up Ratcliffe. And the Hattricks get their 4th try on the power play. Motor City has had 1 opportunity. Both teams have yet to score a special teams goal. There were 6 combined in Danbury's regular season finale, the loss to Binghamton. Hattricks can extend the lead to 2. Under 20 remaining in the period. McKittrick up top, LaBelle, wrist shot, stopped by Babin, and the rebound cleared. There's Giuliano with 10 seconds. Short-handed breakaway, Giuliano off the iron and out! He beat McCullum, but not the post. And the period ends. A breakaway short-handed for Jonathan Giuliano. He flipped it over the right shoulder of McCullum, but the post again, helping out the Hattricks in a big way and preserving the 1-goal lead. A back and forth affair, both of these teams landed on the line in game 1 of this best-of-3 series. Motor City was bounced last year in their inaugural season. Their playoff appearance, 2-0 against Columbus. Hattricks, of course, went all the way and beat Carolina in 5 games in the Commissioner's Cup Finals. And both of these teams have been aggressive, offensive-minded, and the goalies have been the story. Babin, 32 saves on 34 shots. McCullum allowed the 1 goal on 29 shots. And that was one of the storylines coming in. We spoke about both of these netminders, and they faced off back in December. Both games, both goalies were in. McCullum stopped 59 of 67. Babin was 86 for 94. Touched on McCullum, who led the league, not rookies, led the league in wins for a goalie with 24. Also had 6 assists. And both of these goalies had save percentages and goals against averages in the top 6 of the league. Pucks are flying. It is the Chuck-a-Puck time here in Danbury. Todd Maserati, Alfa Romeo of Danbury, sponsors the Chuck-a-Puck. Now we've got our regulars here who will try to continue the streak. Now they've brought groups in. They've got different members into their group, keeping their streak alive. Gary and Joe. A playoff edition of Chuck-a-Puck. The Generales trying to keep the streak alive. I didn't see any go into the bucket quite yet. Maybe early on. A lot of pucks on the ice, not many in the can. Folks, while we have a minute, let's mention that the Hattricks right now are running a jersey auction. The black jerseys that you see here tonight are up for auction. Right up on Dash. You can find the auction on DanburyHattricks.com or on our social media at Danbury Hattrick. Place your bids. You'll get them once the regular season comes to a close. Some of your favorite players, game worn, they're wearing them right now, tonight. So those jerseys are available, and you'll get them once the season comes to an end, whether it's this weekend or a couple weekends from now. We will send out your jerseys. Looks like we have 4 winners during our Todd Maserati Alfa Romeo of Danbury Chuck-a-Puck. Very exciting. Congratulations to all the winners. And for those watching at home, time to take a breath, regroup. Final 20 minutes of regulation. Game 1, Empire Division semifinals. Number 2, Motor City, and number 3, Danbury. 2-1 Hattricks after 40 minutes of play. Now, we caught up with some of the Hattricks leadership earlier on in the week. The captain, Johnny Ruiz, and the 2 alternate captains, Daniel McKittrick and Kyle Gonzalez. Just chatting about this first round playoff series, the regular season as a whole, and tempering expectations going into the 2024 playoffs. Let's start it off with the team MVP, Johnny Ruiz.
Hi, I'm here with captain number 19, Johnny Ruiz. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So now that you're into playoffs, what is your mindset and how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Us as a whole, we're pretty confident. Excited for the most part. But.
You guys play Motor City this weekend, which you've only played twice against them. And what do you do differently against them, and what's your mindset going into this weekend?
I mean, we're just going to prepare as much as we can on and off the ice. You know, do a lot of video, a lot of scouting reports. You know, it's at the end of the day, it's hockey. You know, you're playing against a team that's want to, you know, ruin your season. So we're going to have to do whatever it takes to prevent it.
As you played in the playoffs before in the past 2 years, what do you take from this experience into the playoffs to now?
Oh, it's a new season. Anything can happen. You know, a bounce can end your season, end your career, possibly. So, you know, it's going to be a battle. You know, full 60 each game. So we just got to be ready to go to war.
What advice do you give to the new players on this team as it's their first year?
Take it all in, enjoy the moment. You know, not many teams, you know, get to play for the championship. That's the goal. So, you know, it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. Emotions are going to be high. They're going to be low. We just got to control them and just put our front foot forward and, you know, try to do our best.
As a captain on the team, how do you inspire and motivate players on the
field? They're just going to have to be the best version of me possible. You know, work hard, be smart, be disciplined, and just, you know, do anything for the guy next to you.
And what is one word that you would describe playoffs?
Electric.
Thank you.
Hey Hattricks fans, I'm here with assistant coach and player Kyle Gonzalez. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm really good, thanks. You were part of the most famous assist in Game 5 last year. How did your contribution motivate you for this season?
Oh man, just kind of trying to do the right things every day in and day out on the ice and in the room. Try and set good examples for the fellas, and you know, how you carry yourself every day sometimes translates to the ice, and I guess it did that day for sure.
How do you prepare for playoffs, and how does it differ from preparing for a regular season game?
Yeah, for playoffs, there's definitely a little bit more focus on the specific team that we're playing because we have them, you know, a few games in a row. But we don't want to look at it any differently than we do any other team during the regular season. We've kind of been talking about faceless opponents, so every game and every day we try and bring the same energy and effort.
You came back a month ago. Do you feel like you're playing at the same level as you were before, or do you feel like there's a lot of room for improvement?
Yeah, no, definitely. There's definitely always room for improvement. Whether if I came back a month ago or whatnot, I'm always trying to improve. But still trying to get a few things, you know, going 100%. You know, like my first step, I feel like I'm just a little behind the 8 ball sometimes. But you know, if I have the opportunity to play, no excuses. So got to be better.
How do you push yourself and the team to work hard each day, especially now that playoffs are coming up?
Yeah, it's actually pretty easy with this group. Everyone in that room wants to get better and brings their efforts to the rink every single day. So they make Johnny and I and Tricky and Yao's job very easy as far as you know, having to set examples and working hard. But you know, to answer your question, just kind of trying to bring the same effort like I talked about before every day, whether if it's each drill or whatever we're working on the ice. If Johnny and the captains are going hard, then no one else has an excuse. So working hard every day.
Lastly, what is something you learned from last year's playoffs that you think will help you for this year's?
Yeah, you know, the boys and coach have kind of been talking about it for the past few weeks leading up to this. Just kind of being prepared for anything that's thrown at us, whether if it's a bad call from the officiating group or whether if it's a tough bounce that happens on the ice, something we can't control. Things are going to happen that we can't, that we don't have control of sometimes. So trying to stay even keel and trying to just kind of stay the process and stay the course definitely worked out last year. So hoping for the same results this year.
All right. Thank you and good luck.
Thanks so much.
Hey Hattricks fans, my name is Lexi Berkey and I am here with assistant captain number 22, Daniel McKittrick. Tricky, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Pretty good. All right, so we're heading into playoffs. You have this weekend, Friday you play at home, and Saturday, possibly Sunday, you play away in Michigan. What are your overall emotions going into this weekend?
I'm definitely excited to get the playoffs started, especially with the crowd here, but just got to take it one game at a time and don't look too forward, don't look too behind, and just play some good hockey.
So you haven't seen Motor City since early December. You lost one in overtime and you won one in regulation. What are you doing to prepare as a team to face the Rockers?
We're going to look at some video tomorrow and just look at the lines and see what they do well. They're going to be a decent team, so we're going to have to be buzzing.
So it's your first playoff game of the season. How do you bring what transpired last year over to this weekend?
It's not going to be the same, but what we got to do the same, honestly, is just pucks deep, hitting bodies, and just playing for each other because anything could happen in the playoffs.
So you haven't been to Motor City yet this year. They've played both games here. How does the game plan differ being the away team?
It's definitely going to be a little harder, especially with the travel we're going to do, but honestly, no excuses in the playoffs. Just got to get the job done.
What is one piece of advice you or the other captains would like to give to the younger team members?
I'd have to just say enjoy it, and honestly, it's a fun time. So just have fun out there, do well, score some goals.
Do you have any personal goals for yourself to improve upon this weekend?
Honestly, not personal, just wins on the board is what I'm going for.
All right, thank you. Good luck this weekend.
Much. Appreciate it.
So let me show it. You are exactly what I want. Kinda cool and kinda not. Wanna give myself to you, yeah.
I'm Zach.
I'm Jared. We're at the Rivery Brewery right now, helping them pack up some cans.
Yep, trying this beautiful specialty New England IPA that you can get.
Hey Zach, throw me a beer.
You got it, buddy.
Oh. I gotta catch those. I gotta work on my hands.
This guy.
Heart is a balloon, shoots up through the stony ground. There's no room, no space to rent in this town. You're out of luck, and the reason that you had to care, the traffic is stuck, and you're not moving anywhere. You thought you found a friend to take you out of this place, someone you can lend a hand in return for grace. It's a beautiful day. Sky falls, you feel
Here we go. The final 20 minutes of regulation in game one of round one. Number 2 Motor City, number 3 Danbury in the Empire Division semifinals, and the Hattricks possess a 1-goal lead. Hello again, fans. Doug Latuca with you on the Hattricks Digital Network. We appreciate you for stopping by on a Friday night. Opening game of the best of 3 series. All 3 games will be played this weekend. Both teams hopping on the bus tonight after the final horn sounds. And you travel up to Michigan for game 2 tomorrow night, 7:05 inside Big Boy Arena. Hattricks started the scoring in the first. McKittrick from Harwell at 16-21. Danbury extended the lead. Ruiz on a backhander over the glove of Babin. Ratcliffe and Bedard with the assists in the second period at 9:28. But Motor City with a response at 11:58. A deflection on a Conway shot from the point. King got a piece. And that's where we stand. A one-goal contest in the series opener, as the Hattricks try to do something no team in FPHL history has ever done. That is win back-to-back Commissioners' Cups. Elsewhere around the league, some games to keep an eye on. Binghamton and Watertown are knotted up at 2 apiece. The latter stages of the second period. That game was 2-0 Watertown at the end of the first. But the Black Bears stormed back at the start of the second, got 2 quick goals and have tied the game. Port Huron with a 3-1 lead over Carolina, and Columbus leading 3-0 over Mississippi. Third period, Hattricks with a 2-1 lead. And we are underway. Game 1 of the best-of-3 series here in downtown Danbury, Connecticut. Hattricks move left to right in the black jerseys. McKittrick swoops around the net. Ruiz slap shot over the net and all the way around. Hattricks are on the power play, a carryover from the Mike Wynn tripping call at 1935. Hattricks with 1:05 on the man advantage. Puck nearly turned over at center ice. Instead, it's pitchforked in deep. Harwell closes off the wall, pass inside and too far for Ruiz. Has to adjust, slips it for Cunningham. Left point Ruiz, across the blue line to McKittrick. Near side LaBelle at the right circle. Cunningham plays catch with LaBelle, return Cunningham. Fanned on a pass, was looking for McKittrick in the high slot. Conway fired it out to center, but LaBelle knocked it down. He'll sling it in deep with 1:05 gone. Third period, a 1-goal Hattricks advantage. A diving effort and a clear from Giuliano. And the Hattricks have to reset with 20 ticks on the power play. Both Trevor Babin and Connor McCullum have been the talk of the town here in game 1. Babin 32 for 34, McCullum 28 for 29. The post has helped both goaltenders so far. And Babin, with maybe the save of the season off the post, clamped his glove down on the goal line and kept it out. Cunningham floats one wide, picked up in the near corner, nearly cleared, and then Berry throws it cross ice out of the zone. 2 minutes erased, third period, and a 2-1 game. Puck bounces in on Babin, and he gloves it. So a offensive zone face-off upcoming for the Hattricks. Danbury makes changes. Harwell, Zinchenko, and Falanga, the trio up front with Bedard and LaBelle on the back end. Johnson was chatting with Rotundi. Both players ushered to the bench by the official. Off the face-off, Bedard mishandles at the blue line. Squirts out to center. Gulo pressuring. And Michael Falanga reverses course for LaBelle. Harwell leads Zinchenko left side, dropped off for Harwell. Cuts middle, shoots, and a shoulder save by Babin, and he clamps it underneath the left arm. The Hattricks going with just 9 forwards and 6 defensemen because the Zach Pamelayan spearing suspension was for 2 games. The new rule in the FPHL, instituted earlier this year, if the suspension is 2 or more games, the team with the suspended player must play shorthanded for the amount of games that that player is suspended. So the Hattricks will dress just 15 through the first 2 games of this series until Pamelayan is back. Here's Sneath, to the backhand, off the side of the goal. It trickles on, and McCullum holds it at the far post, with King bearing down. Hattricks fans on the edge of their seats. First game in what they hope is a long run back to the Commissioner's Cup Finals. Right point shot deflected wide. It springs off the end boards. A keep by Wynn at the left point. Sneath curls in the corner. A whistle, and that is Mike Wynn down in front of the Hattricks bench at the left point. Now Wynn got crunched right where the glass and the Hattricks bench begins. So Wynn awkwardly into the boards, was down at the left point on all fours, and is being helped to the Rockers bench. And unfortunate for Motor City, who had some offensive zone time, and it started somewhat of a cycle. But Win off the ice. 3 minutes gone in this third period. Hattricks holding on to a 1-goal lead in the first game of the best of 3. Here's Berry. Turbos in, hands off Falanga, wrist shot, save, rebound in the slot. Out to Gonzalez, walks the line, his wrister pops in the air, and Babin gloves it. Tracking it down like an outfielder. He called off Berry, said, "I got it," and halts play. Two of the more even teams in the league this season. The Hattricks and Rockers. Mentioned the goal differential coming in. Motor City at plus 25, Hattricks at plus 24. 97 points for Motor City, 90 for Danbury. The goals against and goals for, very, very similar. Explains why there was a race for that second spot in the Empire for the second half of the year. LaBelle fakes the shot, then unloads wide off the end boards. It's corralled, flipped up the near side. Gulo couldn't get there. Johnson pressed it back in. Swatted all the way down the ice, and an icing on the Rockers. Plenty of offensive opportunities for both of these teams, just 3 total goals. If you like quality goaltending, well, this might be the series for you. It's the third meeting of the year between the two teams, and the third matchup with Babin and McCullum in the goals. Shots are 38-30 Hattricks, 2-1 Danbury lead. Cunningham headbands McKittrick. Puck knocked off of his stick by Vanderweel. That's recoiled. We've played a little more than 4 minutes in this third period. Puck deflected off of a stick. Abdella angles for Cunningham into the offensive zone, and McKittrick a step ahead of the play, offsides. Hattricks trying to keep their playoff home winning streak alive. They've won 6 games in a row dating back to last year. As for the Rockers, season number 2 a success. Back to the playoffs for the second consecutive season. And their head coach, Gordy Brown, awarded the FPHL Head Coach of the Year. Now what can he muster up in the final 15:30 of the third period to get this score even and steal a game on the road? Now, if you're new to the FPHL and you're wondering, well, why does the number 3 team play the number 2 team on their home ice in game 1? Well, it's for travel reasons, really. So games 2 and 3 are at the better seed. Both these teams heading on a bus after the conclusion of this game. Back to Michigan for game 2 tomorrow night. Rockers nearly connect on a breakaway as Conway was ahead of the pack. Deflected off of his skate and on goal. McCollum gets the whistle. Fans have been into it all night. Seen some Rockers jerseys throughout the bleachers here at the DIA, but mostly black and orange. Off the face-off, Bedard twirling in the corner. Bangs it off the boards. Harwell tried to chip and chase after it. It was turned aside. And Johnson back for LaBelle. Up the gut, Harwell did not get a piece, so it's an icing. As the stretch pass misconnects between the 6'6" defenseman Josh LaBelle and Chase Harwell. LaBelle with 5 assists in his last 2 games. It's the first time LaBelle is squared off with Motor City in a Hattricks uniform. He played him 7 times when he was with the River Dragons. 6 points in those 7 games. Svitznov trying to pry the puck free. LaBelle wins the battle, slings it off the boards. It goes on net, so no icing on the Hattricks. 5:10 gone in the third period. Hattricks with a goal in the first, 1 midway through the second, and the Rockers getting back within 1 at 11:58 of the second period. Johnson's stick snapped in half on the shot. He gets one from the bench, nearly ran into Zinchenko, who slings it across, knocked down by Koash. Touches to himself, getting back was Gonzalez, and a collision at the blue line. Harwell and Zinchenko. The play is offsides, a shot after the whistle from Delaney. And now some pushing after the whistle. It all started with the collision at the blue line. Zinchenko and Harwell, the play was offsides, but Delaney did not realize, so unloaded a shot after the whistle. So, refs have dispersed the scrum. It's 2-1 Hattricks. Media timeout here in Danbury. You're watching Danbury Hattricks playoff hockey on the Hattricks Digital Network.
Hope Plumbing offers a full range of commercial and residential services. Their team can assist you in all aspects of any plumbing-related needs you have. You have hope with Hope Plumbing.
Kellogg Hardwood Lumber, located in Bethel, has the hardwoods for any project. They are a kiln-dried hardwood lumber yard and manufacturing facility carrying the highest quality hardwoods available. Flooring, moldings, cabinets, furniture, or whatever you are building, they have the kiln-dried hardwoods you need.
Since 1881, Omaha Beef Company has been supplying the Danbury community with meat and beef. Located on Maple Avenue, they are now the featured product in the Danbury Ice Arena. When you say Omaha Beef Company, you mean top of the line.
Bold Move Logistics is a family-owned and operated delivery service provider exclusively for Amazon. As a team, they deliver packages the last mile to your doorstep. Check them out on the concourse level at the Danbury Arena and inquire about joining their team.
Back inside the Danbury Ice Arena, Hattricks 2, Rockers 1 in game 1 of the first round. Hattricks into the offensive zone. Cunningham's shot blocked. Ruiz tried to pry one forward. Slid on to Babin, who covers it up. Hattricks haven't scored since 9:28 of the second period. Rockers with the most recent goal at 11:58 of the middle period, but it's been all the netminders in this one. Babin for the Rockers, McCullum for the Hattricks. 30 saves for Connor and 37 for Trevor. Face off at the far circle, settled down by Cunningham. Gonzalez rims it around, kicks off the kick plate. Cunningham tossed it towards goal, and Babin made the save with the pad. King flips it across for Colton. Into the O zone. Pass for Conway into his skates. Ruiz leads the charge. Headman's Cunningham. He's outnumbered, so he'll chip and chase. Gets to the puck first. Pass up top for Ratcliffe. Wrist shot deflected wide with Babin moving from east to west. Puck never hit off of him. A bouncing puck over the blade of Wynn. He gathers it in. Leads Sneath. 1-on-2. Sneath taking it wide, and he fluttered one over the crossbar. Pitching in from the left point. It's Fitznov. In the skates of Berry. Ratcliffe couldn't clear. Kept in by Giuliano, who got up in the air. Centering pass at the blue line. Turnaround shot deflected. Nearly got to goal. But LaBelle clears it to the far boards. LaBelle back on it behind the net. Gets it from Falanga and flips it up the far side boards. It's ramped in deep. Abdella and Giuliano in a race. LaBelle gloves it down. Ratcliffe. Cross ice. Elevated pass. Falanga charges ahead. Rolling puck. Falanga around the goal. Tried to stop. Lost an edge. Vanderwill was on his back. Gonzalez slap shot wide. Johnson at the circle. His wrister off a skate. Harwell picks it free. To the back. Abdella walks the line, backhander to the goal. Knocked down. Zinchenko shoots. Saved by Babin, and it's underneath him. Harwell tossed out of the crease. Post whistle. And credit to the officials tonight. They've done a nice job dispersing the extracurriculars after the whistle. Not much rough stuff. No fights in this game. Colby Johnson has been well behaved, number 81 in black. Played 5 games in the regular campaign, was suspended for a game. Physical, gritty player, also has plenty of skill. Abdella thought about keeping that puck in at the right point. Instead backs off, and Gulo sprints after it. McCullum out of the goal. Had some trouble with a bouncing puck. It deflects back towards the goal, and a turnaround shot from Wells was kicked out by McCullum. Abdella drops off for Ruiz. Off a body, Koash. All the way through Gulo. And Gonzalez sauces it ahead for Cunningham. Leads it ahead, but Koash stole it at center ice. Under 11 and a half to go in the third period. 2-1 Hattricks. Fluttered ahead. Over the stick of Conway. Given right back to McGill Diaz. Straddles the blue line. Pass right up the gut. Was picked off by LaBelle. D-to-D pass. LaBelle for Berry. Right down Main Street. Dangles through, try to spin. Ratcliffe follow. Fanned on the shot. Up the near side, King wanted to poke it around Bedard, who halted that opportunity. Ratcliffe tried to chip it in. It was knocked down. Wynn to the far side. King centering try, knocked down. King rebound, backhander. It's blocked. King's got it back to the left point. Wynn surveys across for Colton. His shot, they score. Josh Colton with some traffic in front. It's a tie game about midway through the third. The Rockers buzzing in the offensive zone, and Colton's point shot found its way through, might have been deflected. No chance for McCullum, and this game is level at 2. So the Rockers erase a 2-goal deficit. They trail 2-0 midway through the second, and they've got the last 2 goals to even things up. Of course, Babin has been a huge story. The Hattricks, right after the Rockers got on the board, nearly made it 3-1, but Babin, with the save of the night, kept it 2-1, and now the Rockers have come back to tie the score. Johnson tosses down Delaney, who gets back to his skates, centers. Bouncing puck, Fitznov in the corner, dangling on Abdella. Delaney. His pass down low is knocked down with a glove. Johnson charging forward. Wynn plays it back into the Hattrick zone. Gonzalez. Pass off the boards. back into the Motor City zone. Hattricks making partial changes. We've hit the midway point of this third period, and the Rockers have tied the game at 2. Ruiz intercepts at center, charges ahead. Ruiz, backhander glove save. McKittrick to the left point. LaBelle's slap shot deflected wide. Picked up in the near corner, hopped over the stick of Zinchenko. Brown gets the puck back at center and slingshots it back in. Babin touches it off for Wynn. Koash is joining the play, lifted his stick, which is on the ice. There's actually 2 sticks on the ice, and navigating around those sticks is Vanderweel. The referee is in the corner. Maybe he hasn't spotted it, or he's waiting for the play to leave the zone. Puck is chopped out to center ice. Gathered in with the glove and flipped in by Conway. Berry, Turbo's right side. Pass through the middle all the way down. No icing. Vanderweel, pestered by Cunningham, turns it over. In front, Cunningham was hauled down, and a penalty. Rockers can't believe it. It's a cross-checking call. And Danbury to the power play with a chance to take the lead right back. Motor City has tied it at 2. Media timeout here in Danbury. You're watching Hattricks Playoff Hockey on the Hattricks Digital Network.
Charter Oak Brewing Company is a Connecticut-based brewery featuring handcrafted and innovative beers such as pale ales, lagers, India Pale Ales, brown ales, sours, and several seasonal, more robust beers. Pick one up at the Rabbit Hole.
Danbury-based Chipman, Mizuko, and Emerson is your partner for the road ahead. They provide comprehensive legal guidance for individuals, families, and businesses. CME, let the pros handle your needs.
Domino's, the official pizza of the Danbury Hattricks. Thin crust, pepperoni, sausage, you name the topping, and they got it. Domino's, they deliver.
Partner with Fastenal to simplify and secure your supply chain needs. They handle a vast range of industrial products, and if you want it, they can get it. The core belief is in the people at Fastenal. They empower their teams to do great things for yours.
Grounds Donut House is the featured donut of the Danbury Ice Arena. Stop by the main stand and grab yourself one of today's featured donuts. As good as it gets. Donut, miss out.
Tense moments here inside the Danbury Ice Arena. The score leveled at 2. Rockers with the most recent 2 goals, King and Colton, at 11:58 of the second and 9:31 here in the third period, have tied the score. But the Hattricks to the power play again. They're scoreless on 4 previous tries. Top unit on the ice against the number 2 penalty kill in the regular season. They wrestle for it behind the goal line. To the back, LaBelle across McKittrick. Return LaBelle, looking for a lane. Wrist shot deflected by Harwell off the back glass. Swatted to the blue line, kept in with the skate by Ruiz. McKittrick for Harwell. Behind the net, Ruiz stuff in. Puck's available, put on goal. They jam at it, and Babin's got it. 40 seconds gone on the Hattricks power play, and Babin with another couple of stops sealing off the far post. Trevor Babin has been spectacular. 43 for 45 and trying to be the best penalty killer for the Rockers here in the third period as time continues to tick. Under 8 minutes to go in the third. Game 1 of the first round best of 3 series. Game 2 tomorrow in Michigan. Hattricks win the draw. LaBelle, wrist shot deflected. Harwell corrals behind the net. Slips it for Ruiz through his legs. And the Rockers clear all the way down. TJ Sneath lifted the stick of Johnny Ruiz. The league leader in power play goals with 12 in the regular season, Ruiz. Ratcliffe swerves at center. Steps inside the line. Hands off for Johnson. McKittrick with room, shoots! Kicked out by Babin, and the rebound lifted down the ice. Babin comfortable in that butterfly, kicks out the pads. Hattricks haven't really tested his blocker too much. A turnover at center with 30 seconds on the power play. Delaney left wing, wrist shot, goes high and rims all the way out to center. Benefits Motor City. Wynn slings it in wide of McCullum, who was somewhat surprised by that shot. Puck pried free. Giuliano winds, fires on a glove save by McCullum. Hattricks lackadaisical in their own zone on the power play, and the Rockers nearly took the lead. Both of these teams applying immense pressure in the offensive zone, forcing turnovers, and the goalies have bailed their teams out countless times. Final 4 seconds on the penalty to Rotundi, who's in the box for cross-checking. Hattricks win the face-off, and we are back to 5-on-5. 6.5 to go, third period in a tie game in the first game of the Empire Division semifinals. Watertown and Binghamton starting the third period, tied 2-2. Bouncing puck swatted to Harwell. Left side, Harwell to the net. Couldn't get the shot off. Was looking for a penalty. Nothing called. And icing waved off as the official and McCullum had a miscommunication. McCullum thought they waved it off. He touched the puck. And then it did, in fact, wave off the icing. So a bit of a mistake by McCullum. Either way, we play on. Ruiz runs into a wall, lost possession of the puck. Rockers try to clear. It goes all the way down the ice. Does it have the legs? It does for icing. And the face-off all the way back into the Rocker zone. Hattricks led 2-0 midway through the second. Rockers with the last 2 goals, including Colton's at 9:31 to tie this game up. Both on shots from the point. Traffic in front. Couple deflections off of Hattricks players. And, well, they gave King the goal, the first goal for Motor City on a deflection. And then Colton's appeared to be deflected, but it is the defenseman's goal. Brown pestered by Conway. A scramble forward in front of the Hattricks bench. Taken in by Sneath. Rather, that's McGill Diaz up the left wing. Into the zone, shot over the crossbar, rings all the way around. Pass through center. McGill Diaz flips in, gets a change. McCullum out of the goal, wheels it around. Received by Berry. Up the far boards, shovels it in, and Vanderweel had his stick lifted. Berry wins the battle to the net, backhander. It's available, and the Rockers possess. Tie game here in Danbury. Rockers into the offensive zone. Vanderweel takes it wide. Delaney, low left, centers, turnaround shot deflected wide. Abdel at the last second blocked the Giuliano bid. Giuliano at the blue line, flicks one wide. Spitsnov spinning in the corner to the back. Colton slap shot off of Ratcliffe. Gonzalez gets it to Ratcliffe. Tapped ahead for Falanga with under 4. Falanga, right wing, crisscrosses with Ratcliffe. His wrist shot well wide. Rims around. Svintsov to the near side, Rotundi, and it's deflected out of play into the stands. Final media timeout of regulation. 2-2 score. You don't want to go anywhere. The final 3:38 when we come back on the Hattricks Digital Network. Tixer is the official ticketing partner of the Danbury Hattricks and Danbury Ice Arena. Log on and get your seats today. Great service and easy to use.
Tri-State Legacy Group is an insurance group that focuses on putting your family needs first. Consult with them today and set your plan for the future. They care about people over products. It's that simple.
Twister's Ice Cream Cafe. Located in New Fairfield, Twister's features 32 different flavors of ice cream. This season, they are stationed in the Danbury Ice Arena. Stop by and visit their stand. Get sprinkled.
New Haven Nighthawk Brewing. Brewed right here in Connecticut and featured at the Rabbit Hole. New Haven Night Brewing Company is the beverage of choice at the Danbury Arena. Grab a cold one and party like you're in the Elm City.
The final 3:38 of regulation. Hattricks and Rockers in the first game of the best-of-3 series this weekend in round 1 of the Commissioner's Cup playoffs. McCullum holds on to an outside shot from Gulo, former Hattrick. Nick Gulo is also in Elmira earlier on this season. To the face-off at the near circle, to the right of McCullum. It's Harwell and Sneath. Sneath wins it. Conway got shoved down by Johnson, who steals the puck. Colby Johnson zigzagging in, worked on by Wynn, stapled to the glass. Available puck, swept to Conway, fends off the check of Harwell, centering pass picked off. Bedard flings one towards the goal, off the blocker of Babin and into the netting. Both of these teams do it again tomorrow night, 7:05 puck drop at Big Boy Arena in Michigan, and if necessary, Game 3 is 5:05 on Sunday. Hattricks hoping to keep their 6-game home playoff winning streak alive. Rockers, who are the number 2 seed, would like to take care of business in Game 1 of the series against the number 3 Hattricks. Ruiz wins the face-off. Right point, Abdella. Ruiz got slashed on the hands. Feeling the effects of that. Gets back into play. 3 minutes to go in regulation. King on the near boards. Gave it away to Cunningham. Ruiz across, Gonzalez across for Abdella. And a cross-corner dump. Cunningham crashes into the boards with Wynn. Spits to Cunningham. Right point, Gonzalez back Cunningham. Buries one-timer. Pinballed on goal. Waffled aside by Babin. Berry. Log jam along the near boards. And Svitsnov comes away with it. 2.5 remaining in regulation. Giuliano calling for the puck at the blue line, looking for a stretch pass. Does not come. Then it's Delaney, who received at the blue line, forces the turnover, throws one to the middle, touch pass, oh, what a stick save by McCullum! A game-saving stop by McCullum! Bailing out his teammates and just got the top of his stick on it to keep it tied. Connor McCullum trying to outduel Trevor Babin. They're both putting on a show in the first round of the playoffs. Hattricks win an important defensive zone face-off, but forfeit possession. McGill Diaz through the center of the ice. It was not touched by a rocker. It goes all the way down, and with exactly 2 minutes remaining in regulation, Danbury awarded an offensive zone face-off. Next goal, massive. Shots are 50-38 Hattricks. Game is tied at 2. Face off at the right circle. Berry wins the draw. LaBelle feathers it below the goal line. Falanga twirling. Hands off for Berry. Behind the net. Berry wraparound. Rebound. They say no goal. They blew it dead. Babin kept it out with the right skeet, but on the third effort, Berry says he poked it past the goal line, but the whistle went off. This place would have gone nuts if that was counted a goal. Berry was swerving behind the net. Babin with 2 stops with the right pad. The whistle had blown it dead, and Babin keeps it out of the net. His 49th save. Draw at the far circle. It's Sneath and Berry. Officials are over to maybe take a look at the overhead cam. Discussion is over. And now the much anticipated offensive zone faceoff. It's Berry, Falanga, and Ratcliffe with Abdella and Gonzalez. Sneath prevails against Berry on the draw. Turnover behind the net. Centering pass for Berry off of his blade. King, cross ice pass. It's McGill Diaz, flutters one mark. Rebound! Just saved by McCollum! Another beauty to keep us tied. McGill Diaz flings one in, rolls around the kick plate, hit an awkward spot, benefits Gonzalez, kissed off the glass by Abdella. Bouncing puck, Falanga 1-on-2 into the offensive zone. Falanga takes it wide, shot it past the pad of Babin. Ruiz gave it away at center, and Conway at the end of his shift flutters it in. Bedard in the near corner, 2-2 game, 1 minute to go. Bedard nearly gave it away, Ruiz supports. Charging up the middle, off of McKittrick, and offsides are the Hattricks. The final 50.3 in period 3, 2-2 game. What a start to this best of 3 series. Both games of the regular campaign were tight. First game was decided in overtime. Motor City won it 5-4. Bedard and LaBelle play catch, a turnover. Delaney dropping off for Coash, off of his stick. Hattricks the other way, Ruiz, right wing with 35. Ruiz for Harwell, deflected out of the zone. Looking for the trailer, Ruiz. LaBelle snaps it in. Ruiz gets there first. Bouncing puck. Harwell stapled to the boards. Ruiz to the back. LaBelle with 20. Snaps it off the dasher. Springs in the air. Harwell swing and a miss. Plays it back in the near corner with 12. Ratcliffe surveys with 8. Throws it in front. Redirects behind the net. Final 3 seconds. Went into the netting. They might add some time here, but it'll be a face-off in the rocker zone with about 2 seconds. Referee racing over to the scorekeepers, trying to get some time added on the clock. Hattricks might have had a case for delay of game there. McCollum is still in the net with 2 seconds, so it's 5-on-5. Tie up off the faceoff. Harwell to the net. It goes wide, and that's it for regulation. Quite the start to game 1, round 1. Hattricks and Rockers. And now a full intermission, and then we play overtime. Now, for entertainment value, this is as good as it gets. Number 2 against number 3, headed to overtime. But in terms of tomorrow night, things get a bit more complicated now. You have to play a whole nother period, wait through a whole nother intermission, and then hop on the bus for about 11 hours, and then prepare yourselves for game 2 of this series. The life of a pro athlete in the Federal Prospects Hockey League, and also a broadcaster. So, at the end of 60 minutes, not enough for these two teams. It is 2-2. Shots close out 52-39. These two teams have not disappointed. We mentioned these squads only playing each other twice in the regular season. Hattricks gave up a big lead in that game 1 on December 1st. Motor City stormed back, won it in overtime. Scott Coash with 2 goals, including the overtime winner. And then the next night, the teams entered the third period tied at 3. Now the Hattricks scoring the next 2 goals, including an empty netter, to seal a 5-3 victory. Tonight, Someone will be the hero. We just don't know exactly who it will be quite yet and what color jersey they'll have on. Living up to the billing. You wanted playoff hockey? Well, you've got bonus on a Friday night here in downtown Danbury, Connecticut. They've got about 16 and a half minutes on the clock in this intermission. All the fans rushing to the concessions, the bathroom. Want to get that taken care of before we drop the puck in overtime here in Danbury. So, we'll step aside here on the Hattricks Digital Network. After 60 minutes of play, the score is tied at 2 between the Rockers and the Hattricks. You're watching Game 1 of the Empire Division semifinals from downtown Danbury, Connecticut, live on the Hattricks Digital Network.
Heart is a balloon, shoots up through the stony ground. There's no room, no space to rent in this town. You're out of luck, and the reason that you had to care, the traffic is stuck, and you're not moving anywhere. You thought you found a friend to take you out of this place, someone you could lend a hand in return for grace. It's a beautiful day. Sky falls, you feel
you know it. You got me dancing in my bed, so let me show it. You are exactly what I want, kinda cool and kinda not. Wanna give myself to you, yeah.
I'm Zach. I'm Jared. We're at the Rivery Brewery right now, helping them pack up some cans.
Yep, trying this beautiful specialty New England IPA that you can get.
Hey Zach, throw me a beer.
Got it, buddy.
Oh. I gotta catch those. I gotta work on my hands.
This guy.
Faleka scores! Backhander scores! Play in, and he scored! Stojcevski, one-on-one, Stojcevski scores! To the back, cross line pass, they score! Shoots, scores! Beat Babin under the glove, we're even! "60 minutes, not enough for these two teams. Game 1, round 1, Empire Division semifinals between the number 2 Motor City Rockers and the number 3 Danbury Hattricks. Doug Latuca with you on a Friday night from the Danbury Ice Arena in downtown Danbury, Connecticut. It's been a back and forth affair. 52 shots for the Hattricks, 42 for the Rockers. Babin and McCullum, spectacular. Two of the league's best netminders, keeping their teams in it and forcing overtime. Hattricks got out to an early 2-0 lead, a goal at 16:21 from McKittrick. And then at 9:28 of the second period, Motor City with the two most recent goals, King and Colton, one in the second and one in the third. And we are underway in the first overtime in the opening game of this best-of-3 series. Two teams will both hop on the bus and head to Michigan tonight, getting ready for tomorrow's game 2 at 7:05. Milam at the right point, fakes the shot, dishes it down low. Below the goal line, feathered in front, Ruiz, fanned on the clear, gets another crack at it off the back of McKittrick. Kept in, turnaround shot from King, ramps off a stick and off the end glass. Milam slithers it in, and the Hattricks loft it out to center with 40 seconds gone in the overtime. Next goal wins. Ratcliffe bunted the puck down at center ice. Wynn had his stick lifted by Berry. It's Delaney out to neutral ice. Ratcliffe steps inside the line, flutters one towards the middle. Rockers take possession. It's Pavel Svitsnov, team leader in assists. To the near side, McGill Diaz. Up the boards and behind McCullum. The alternate captain, Kyle Gonzalez, missed 38 games in the regular season due to a back injury. Returned in March. Has been steady ever since. Coash's rip off the shoulder of McCullum and into the protective netting. Two of the more even teams in the regular season that we've seen. They were pretty even in their two matchups in the regular campaign. And tonight, overtime will decide the winner of game 1. Off the face-off, Coash wins it back for Colton. It's rimmed around. LaBelle sprints after it, had his stick lifted by Gulo. Off the boards, a shot into the chest protector of McCullum, and he holds on. A combined 95 shots in this game. We had 18 for Motor City in the first, 16 for the Hattricks in the opening period. And even with 18 shots from Danbury in the final frame of regulation, Babin was a wall for the Rockers, hasn't allowed a goal since midway in the second. Johnson to Harwell, right wing, veers inside. Shot was blocked, and it is cleared out to center ice. Brown at the red line, floats it in, and Colton meets it behind the Rockers' cage. We've played 2 minutes of the overtime. Sudden death in game 1. King and Abdella crash in the corner, spits out, and a glove save from McCullum on a shot from the near boards from Sneef. Both goalies flash in the leather. Now, Danbury understands the importance of this game. The next 2 games in Michigan, this is the only home opportunity for the Hattricks in this series, trying to keep their 6-game home playoff winning streak alive. Point shot from Vanderweel was blocked by Cunningham. The Motor City captain back on it behind the net. Had his pocket picked by Ruiz. Cunningham up the left wing. Cunningham shoots off the leg of Rotundi and out the other way. Vanderweel crashes into his own guy. McKittrick looking, pass inside, deflection and a save from Babin as he shut the wickets. Cunningham standing on the doorstep, got a piece, but Babin kept it out. Reason why we led with these 2 goalies is the topic of conversation. Babin, 3rd most wins, 3rd best goals against in the regular season. Both of these goalies, I'm sure, got nods for FPHL Goaltender of the Year. Went to Binghamton's Connor McAnanama in the Empire Division. Both of these guys carrying over their regular season success into the playoffs. Bouncing puck settled down by McGill Diaz, pestered by Berry. The outlet over the stick of Delaney, and it's an icing on the Rockers. So an offensive zone face-off for the Hattricks. Next goal wins. Historically, this is the 7th meeting of the year of this all time between these 2 teams. 3rd matchup of the season, and the 3rd one here in Danbury. Face off at the far circle. Giuliano and Harwell. Zinchenko and Johnson join Harwell with Gonzalez and Abdella on the back end. McGill Diaz lost the puck. Johnson prying for it, comes away. Johnson to the right point. Gonzalez, his wrist shot flutters wide off the end boards. Bouncing puck at the left point, Svitsnov. To Milam. Dances towards the blue line, turned away. Harwell chugs the legs right side. Gets there first. Harwell looking for reinforcements. Brown left point, returned for Harwell, touchdown to Zinchenko. Had Harwell in the slot, holds on to it. Gets it back from Gonzalez, shot towards the goal, kicked out by Babbitt. Harwell, low right. In front, through Zinchenko to the left point. Brown keeps. Sauces it below the goal line. Harwell ponders, fanned on a pass, and was turned over. Delaney to Svitsnov left side. Koash joins the play late. Up the right wing, his wrister kicked out. Rebound, a pad save by McCullum. Spits behind the net. LaBelle hops on top of it. Sauces to Johnson, who kisses it off the glass out to center. We've played 4.5 in overtime, still tied at 2. Colton's wrist shot ramped off the stick of LaBelle. Swatted to the far corner, Koash. Down low, looking for a lane. Out to the right point, Wells. Wrist shot, gets through. McCullum turns it aside. Hattricks send it down the ice. It goes on goal, so no icing. Win, reversing for Wells. Through him, juggling puck. Sent off the end boards, and Gulo retrieves on the near side. Off the glass, past Abdella. And it's an icing on the Rockers. So another offensive zone face-off with a tired group of Rockers. It will be the same group of Rockers, but it is a media timeout here in overtime with 14:55 remaining in the overtime period. The Hattricks and Rockers are knotted up at 2. You're watching Danbury Hattricks playoff hockey on the Hattricks Digital Network. Fans, do you like your grass green or do you want weeds? Yard Goats Landscaping and Construction services Fairfield and Litchfield County. Their specialties are tree service, excavation, patios, decks, and making your grass happy. Check out yardgoats.io and get green with the team. 5:05 erased in the overtime. We play until a winner is decided. First game of the Empire Division semifinals. Gonzalez down low for Cunningham. Lost the handle. Abdella activates from the left point. Slips it down low for Cunningham. All the way to the back and out to center. Gonzalez chases after it. Let's go Hattricks chant from the fans, nervously awaiting a result. Cunningham into the zone, curls back left point. Koash forced him out of the zone, and Cunningham slings it in, gets a change. Hattricks haven't scored since 9:28 of the second. Motor City with goals at 11:58 of the second and 9:31 of the third to tie the game and erase the 2-goal deficit. Billy Berry, one of the Hattricks rookies, 12 points in 12 games in the regular campaign. Falanga knocked to the ice, plays it on his stomach. Berry outnumbered in the corner, and the Rockers emerge with it. Conway near his own blue line plays it back. It's an outlet for Sneath, worked on by LaBelle to the left wing. Around the net, centering try off the back of the goal. Vanderweel all the way across, slap shot, head high and into the netting. Let's bring this up once again. Motor City, top 3 during the regular season on the power play and penalty kill. So, very important for the Hattricks to stay out of the penalty box in overtime. And if they do get a golden opportunity with the man up, you have to take advantage. Rockers won the face-off, but the puck squirts to Johnson. Streaking right side, Johnson centers! Stop with the stick by Babin. Far corner Johnson, twirling in the corner, throws it towards the goal. Harwell to the left point, Abdella walks the line, wrist shot! Into the belly of Babin. And no rebound. Game 2 tomorrow night in Michigan. We'll have the action for you here on the Hattricks Digital Network. Checking in around the Empire Division, the Black Bears have taken a 4-2 lead over the Wolves in the opening game of their best of 3. Game 2 tomorrow night in Binghamton. Koash off the face-off, chugs the legs right side. Abdella back on defense, closes him off. Out to the left point, McGill Diaz for King. One too many dangles, poke checked off of his stick by Abdella, who was all the way out near the blue line. 7 minutes gone in the overtime. Still tied at 2. Outlet pass, King has Koash to his right. Pass for him over his stick. Rims around right point. Milam crawls the wall. Pops into the air. Thrown towards the goal. Never got to McCullum. And it's lumberjacked out to center. Milam gave it away at center, but Ruiz couldn't corral. King into the O-zone. King cuts, pass in front, and Brown sweeps it aside. Starts the rush from right to left. Ruiz, right wing, shoots, glove save Babin. And once again, no rebound from Trevor Babin. 57th hat-trick shot. Fans are on their feet on the far side of the ice in the upper bowl. The others on the edge of their seats, hoping for a Danbury game winner. Tie up on the draw. It's cleared out to center and then swatted back in. Wynn pressured by Berry. Rims it around. Giuliano finds Spitsnov up the left side boards. Taken in by Abdella. He'll get the red line and throw it in. Oh, they call an icing. He did not get the red line. So an icing on Abdella and the face-off back into the hat-trick zone. These two teams were fighting for positioning all season in the Empire Division standings. Motor City 7 points better than Danbury. They were awarded the number 2 seed and home ice in games 2 and 3. The Hattricks is the 3 seed, get game 1 here in Danbury, and it has been a dogfight all day. Plenty of opportunities, both goalies on top of their games. Next goal wins here in overtime with 11:45 remaining. Berry in stride, left side, pulls, shoots over the crossbar. Falanga shoveled it, deflected and knocked down. King near the blue line, spits out to center for Ratcliffe at the red line. Across for Abdella, flings it off the netting. And where will the face-off go? It was shot in from center by Abdella, and they'll place the face-off on top of the Hattricks logo at center. If you're just joining us, welcome. Hattricks and Rockers 2-2. Danbury got out to a 2-0 lead with goals in the first and second. Rockers answered with 1 in the second and the equalizer at 9:31 of the third. And we're approaching the midway point of the first overtime in this series opener in round 1. Offsides on the Rockers. So a 56-game regular season for both of these teams. Had some time off. Both haven't played since last weekend. Rockers on Saturday, Hattricks on Friday. Prepared for the playoffs. And this has been the definition of playoff hockey. Physical, but not over the line. And spectacular goaltending play. Harwell galloped towards the puck. Colton walled him off. Zinchenko to the left point. LaBelle, wrist shot blocked. Back to LaBelle. It pinballs around. Goulot for Koash off of his stick. Zinchenko shouldered him off the puck. And now Zinchenko gave it away at center. Wynn dangling at the red line. Backhand float. LaBelle. Stretch for Johnson off the boards. Over his stick and an icing on Danbury. The stretch pass off the mark. LaBelle and Johnson. .10:38 in overtime. 2-2 game. Face off to the right of McCullum. It's Harwell and Giuliano. Harwell on one knee, wins it back for LaBelle. Rockers keep it. Giuliano, slap shot, kick save, rebound spun towards the goal and deflected. Captain Vanderweel with a slapper off the chest of Zinchenko. Rockers keep the line, give up the puck to Bedard, who gallops through center. Bedard weaving through, looking for a lane, left the puck. Svitsnov up for Giuliano, left wing. Giuliano, wrister, kicked out by McCullum with the left pad. He missed it with the glove, got it with the left pillow, and this game goes on. And an easier stop there for McCullum as he's got it with the glove. Every shot magnified, and every save that much better than the last. McCullum and Babin, punch for punch. Who's got the magic on their stick? Sneath and Ruiz. Rockers win it. Shot off the draw, over the net. Cunningham chops it out to center. It's Conway to McGill-Diaz. Ramped into the Hattrick zone more than midway through the overtime. If no goals in the next 9:40, Zamboni to the ice and play another OT. Ruiz brought it in offsides. An immediate timeout here inside the Danbury Ice Arena. Overtime here inside the DIA. 2-2 Hattricks and Rockers. We'll step aside. You're watching Danbury Hattricks playoff hockey on the Hattricks Digital Network.
Stop by TK's American Cafe on White Street in Danbury and try one of their 76 amazing wing flavors. Visit tksamericancafe.com for more information.
Danbury Parking Authority. Park in the Patriot Garage across the street from the Danbury Ice Arena. It's safe, secure, and legal. Make sure the only ticket you get is to the game.
Danbury Chiropractic and Wellness. Dr. Jared DiLorenzo is a proud member of the Danbury Hattricks medical team. Stop by and see them on North Street in downtown Danbury. Feeling good is an option, and they can get you there.
Buzz-Aid Appliance Scratch and Dent Outlet is the local leader for appliances and household wares. Do you like to eat? They have a refrigerator. Do you want clean clothes? They have a washer. They got it all. It's Buzz-Aid Appliance. Coca-Cola is the official beverage of the Danbury Hattricks. Sweet, fizzy goodness. As refreshing as you remember.
9:36 remaining in overtime number 1. Rockers and Hattricks knotted at 2. The last goal scored at 9:31 of the third period. Hattricks haven't beaten Babin since 9:28 of the second. A crucial game 1, especially for the Hattricks, who head to Michigan for games 2 and 3 of this series. 7:05 tomorrow, 5:05 if necessary on Sunday. Conway waves off the icing, beat LaBelle to the puck, flutters it in front, and it's stolen away by Brown, who curls back in his own zone. Paired with LaBelle on defense, it's Ratcliffe, Berry, and Falanga. Hattricks without some goal scorers in Woolley and DiNicola, Stoichevsky as well. And Pamelayan serving the first of his 2-game suspension. Giuliano wide on Gonzalez around the net. Wraparound try pops in the air. Comes right back to Giuliano. Worked on by Abdella. Point shot deflected over the net by Delaney. What an opportunity for the big winger. And they deflected it up top. Svitsnov centers all the way through. Win to Colton at the right point. His shot deflected, knocked down by Svitsnov. He'll wheel it around. Berry picks it off, clanks it off the glass. There goes Johnson. Johnson, left wing to the goal. Couldn't get the shot off. Win was on his back. Johnson centers looking for Zinchenko. He turns, shoots, just wide. Johnson with the speed and the strength to take the puck from Wynn, and he almost ended this game. Harwell, near boards, looking to the front off the side of the goal, and a penalty! Zinchenko taken down in front, and a trip on Nick Gulo, and the Hattricks with a power play in overtime. It was after the scramble in front. Zinchenko tripped up. And the Hattricks to the power play. Danbury 0 for 5 thus far on the power play. Can win it with a goal here. Gulo sits. Ruiz and Sneath on the draw. Hattricks win it. McKittrick, right point for Cunningham. Back to McKittrick. LaBelle straight away for Ruiz. One-timer over the net. All the way around, McKittrick keeps. Cunningham, far side, at the ring of the right circle. Angles it for McKittrick. Across LaBelle, Cunningham was the intended target, knocked away. LaBelle winds, fires, it's blocked by Sneath. Spits to Ruiz, 30 seconds gone on the power play. Ruiz flutters one towards goal, went wide, and McGill Diaz snaps it down. Rockers, the number 2 penalty kill in the league in the regular season. They're perfect 5 for 5 thus far. Trying to keep this game alive. Puck is chopped down the ice by Milam. Hattricks with a minute to work with on the power play, under 7 left in overtime. Brown touches it on, McGill Diaz stole it away and knocks it off the glass. Second unit out there, Ratcliffe, Gonzalez, Berry, Johnson, and Brown. Berry with some room. Dishes off Johnson, swirls it back, and got shoved off the puck, and it trickled out to center. Ratcliffe, tape to tape with Berry, Johnson right wing, gets the line. Johnson inside, shoots, saved by Babin. Rebound pops in the air, it's underneath Johnson. It squirts to the far side, and the Rockers clear with 20 seconds on the power play. Gonzalez up for Johnson at the blue line, inside Zinchenko. Falanga left wing, drags, fans on the shot, gets it back. Falanga up top, Johnson! One times it wide. Bedard right point. His bid blocked out to center, and the Rockers kill it off in overtime. Under 6 to go in overtime. Here's Falanga, 2-on-1. Right side, inside Ruiz. Shot blocked, rebound, kick saved by Babin. Stuck out the right leg. Unbelievable stop. Koash harassed by Ruiz, who can't believe he didn't just end the game. Rotundi gave it away to Abdella. Lead for Ruiz, knocked down by Rotundi. Zinchenko zigzags in, outnumbered in the zone, looking for help. Zinchenko for Bedard, wrist shot, pad save. LaBelle left point, slapper, blocked, bouncing at the blue line and out of the zone. Hattricks applying the pressure. Rockers bending but not breaking. Under 5 left in overtime, 2-2. Shots are 62-49 Hattricks. Harwell from McKittrick, wrister engulfed by Babin, and no rebound. Media timeout here in Danbury. Catch your breath, 4:46 remaining in overtime. At least number 1. It's still 2-2. We'll step aside. Overtime hockey returns after a break on the Hattricks Digital Network.
Coltec, the founder of Plastic Chamber Technology, is headquartered locally in Brookfield. Coltec is family owned and operated with experience in the drainage industry dating back to the 1950s. When you're talking drainage and stormwater, Coltec is the world leader. Contact them today at coltec.com.
Fairfield County Bank is the official bank of the Danbury Hattricks. It's where the Hattricks bank and the tellers wear the Danbury Hattricks top hat. Fairfield County Bank is your hometown bank and a proud supporter of your hometown team.
For a comfortable stay with great amenities, the only choice is the La Quinta by Wyndham in Danbury. Ask for the Hattricks friends and family rate. You can't beat it. La Quinta.
Texas Roadhouse, located on Newtown Road in Danbury, opened its doors locally in 2017 and is known for hand-cut steaks, cactus blossom, fall-off-the-bone ribs, made-from-scratch sides, and fresh-baked bread. The restaurant prides itself on its legendary food, legendary service, and legendary fun.
Under 5 minutes remaining in the first overtime. We've been tied since midway through the third period. A turnover. Here's Delaney. Overtime breakaway. Stopped by McCollum. Glove save, and he's got the rebound. Standing ovation. They are bowing down to Connor McCollum, who just made his 48th save, maybe his most difficult. A turnover at center. Delaney off to the races. He tried to flip it over the glove of McCollum. And Connor, one of the FPHL's rookie all-stars in the Empire Division, playing up to his name. Got the nod over Taylor Joseph in game 1, and he has been superb. Keeps it tied at 2. McKittrick lost possession to Delaney, who slings it up the near side boards all the way down into the Hattrick zone. It does not have enough for icing, so Abdella plays with it behind the cage. 4:15 the reading on the clock. Overtime number 1. And these teams do it again tomorrow at 7:05 in Michigan. Berry storms up the right side, takes it wide right. Wynn closes him off. Johnson, low right. Drops off for Berry. Backdoor open for LaBelle. Berry didn't see him. Shielding the puck. Down low through Johnson. Sneath gets there first. Up the near boards. And Svitsnov controls. Cross ice pass. Looking for King. No icing. King beat Bedard to the puck. King in front. They score! TJ Sneath right on the doorstep, received a pass in tight, beats McCullum over the glove, and the Rockers take game one in overtime. Connor McCullum did all he could, but a gorgeous pass from the far corner in front, and TJ Sneath with the game-winning goal. Had 3 in the regular season and has his 20th of the year, first in the playoffs. And the Rockers, who were down 2-0 midway through the second period, clawed their way back into it, scored the last 3 goals, including the overtime winner at 16:24. And the Hattricks now with lots of work to do. Hop on the bus, back, pack it up, and head to Michigan for game 2 of the series, down 1-0. The Hattricks had their chances early in that overtime. Babin on top of his game. And a big breakdown in front from the Hattricks. Sneath with the winner on a snapper in the low slot. And Motor City wins game 1 of the best-of-3 series. Well, regardless of the result, that was fun. I wonder what the next game will look like. And lucky for all of you and for me, we'll have it tomorrow night, 7:05 inside Big Boy Arena. Hattricks try to even up the series and force a game 3, which would be Sunday at 5:05. Deflation here in Danbury. The home win streak in the playoffs stops at 6. And the Rockers with their first ever playoff victory. 3 stars of the game. Connor McCullum, who made 48 saves on 51 shots, the 3rd star of tonight's game.
Tonight's 2nd star from the Motor City Rockers with 60 saves.
Trevor Babin, 60 save effort. He's the 2nd star, and it's going to be TJ Sneath, who receives the 1st star for the Rockers, who win it at 16:24 in the first overtime. What a battle between these two teams. We weren't sure exactly what we were going to get. These squads hadn't faced off since early December. And we got a dogfight with TJ Sneath going home the hero. All right, folks, that just about does it for us here on the broadcast booth. Hattricks surrender a 2-goal advantage. Motor City with 3 unanswered goals, including the game winner at 16:24 of overtime. They take game 1 of the best-of-3 series, stun the Hattricks in their house, which has almost been impenetrable for outside forces. The Rockers get through and win game 1. So for everyone helping out behind the scenes, we appreciate all of their efforts. We appreciate the fans for coming out for the only home playoff game of this round. And we hope you tune in tomorrow night, 7:05, and hopefully, if necessary, 5:05 on Sunday. We'll be on the call. We'll be in Fraser, Michigan to capture all the action. Sneath wins it in overtime for the Rockers. 3-2 the final. The Hattricks try to tie things up tomorrow night in game 2. We'll talk again tomorrow at 7:05. Hattricks fans. Motor City wins it 3-2 and takes a 1-0 series lead. Good night, everyone.